Get
on the line.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Are we online?
Shh.
Okay. I'll shh.
Probably.
Okay.
I mean, it's not popped up yet, but that's just YouTube being YouTube.
Tweet. I see us. We're online.
Okay.
Tweet.
Oh, no, it doesn't say we're online yet.
Yeah, I know. I still don't have it yet either.
Take your time. Hurry up.
There
Choice
it
is yours.
goes.
Don't be late.
Yes, that's what
Best
we sound
podcast
like.
on the internet.
That's what
right here.
it sounds like when we start this dumb shit every week. Dumb shit.
Well, see, if the live stream wasn't just basically a bonus bit of horse shit, then I'm sure we would start with, hey, and welcome to the BMFcast live stream.
Hey,
I'm Marlo, I'm
live
Mackie, I'm
stream.
BJ, I'm Chuck. It's what we do every week. All that.
Exactly. All of that.
Fart noises.
BJ, do you have the cast thing from Discord?
What?
Are you going to do the cast stuff?
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Since Mackie's not here. Again. I mean, I should talk. I took a week off 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's because you were dead. Oh, speaking of which, did you get your treat?
No. Ooh.
I offered
He
it.
did. He offered it to me Sunday, and I was like,
Aw.
not yet. I didn't take it.
Can I get you a treat?
Yes.
All right.
There's also still one cup left. I think is yours.
That's my cup.
That's my cup.
That's my cup.
That's my cup.
This Sunday on Fox. That's my cup.
Why's my beard all itchy? Probably all that tree fucking that's happening.
Yeah.
Hey, Chuck, this is for you.
Oh my God! Look at this. It's
What?
what?
You're so surprised.
It's a Reese's with Reese's in it.
Double Reese's.
Holy shit!
And it's king size.
Oh my God!
For your pleasure.
For a king. I'm
Fit for
You're a king.
I am a king. If you know what I mean.
No.
No, I don't.
Not really.
California king, they call me.
You're big
Yes.
and wider.
Correct.
Okay.
The biggest and widest.
Wow, that's weird.
Means he's very big in bed.
Yep. Correct.
Yeah. I'm talking about his wiener.
Yes. Welcome to the Wiener Cast.
Talking about your wiener.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'll whip it up.
What?
And we're banned.
Nah, YouTube's all right with that.
What?
No, it's not.
Sure, yeah.
No,
you
it
can just
isn't.
Flap your
No.
donger all over the place.
You can be a racist,
Yes.
but you cannot put your donger out there.
That's bullshit.
Yes, that's correct.
That is colossal bullshit.
What if you're able to?
I
hit
mean,
it-
it's correct.
What if
but
you're able to
it's,
hit a dinger with your donger?
Not
that-
on YouTube. Pornhub will take all comers, though.
Okay.
Can I take my donger to Murph's and hit a dinger?
Yeah, you can try, but you'll never be welcome in a Murph's again.
There's only one.
Well,
You'll never be welcome in the one Murph's.
In a Murph's.
you're gonna change your volume by accident.
Man, it's
I am.
9:13. We are hitting it early.
Well, the
Yeah.
movie was only 78 minutes. So a brisk 78 minutes.
The week Mackie should have been here.
I planned it that way.
We need to watch this movie.
Yes, I noticed that today.
Yeah.
I read that plot description. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I think someone's recommended that to us
Oh,
before.
We need to watch it.
I agree. Because holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah. What is this? Wait, no, stop it. Stop it. What is this?
Nobody's even in the live chat yet.
Hey, where are you?
Hey, where are you?
Where are you?
Hey.
Where are you?
Hey.
Zeus, the crime killer.
Where's Bill? Get in here, Bill.
Bill will be here. Bill will be along in a minute.
Speak up, Bill.
Billiam.
Zeus, the crime
Did I not tweet right? Did I tweet improperly?
You tweeted just fine.
Or do they all follow Mackie and he's not here to tweet?
All right. We need to get back to the best of the best movies as well.
Yeah.
We've got 3 more to do.
We do. Hey, there's Bill.
Bill's here.
Yes.
I don't know.
All right.
So, We
Yes,
usually discuss this before we go online, but who's got what for the second half?
I have a film.
Okay.
I also have a film.
And I have a film.
That's 3 films.
That is.
Perhaps.
He can add fast, too.
Perhaps.
I mean, I watched some old stuff again, but I don't really have...
Oh, I watched a ton of things,
I
but
don't really have any thoughts.
I have one thing to talk about.
I will say, I guess for the enjoyment of the live stream audience, I rewatched Expendables 3 because I remember like going, wow, 2's hot garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And
3 is Mel Gibson.
yeah.
Okay.
Like 3's bordering on very good.
Yep.
It's bordering. Like
Yes.
it's got a couple of really cringeworthy things in it.
Yes.
Wait,
Does.
what movie?
Expendables, the third.
Oh, okay.
Like Arnold at the end yelling, "Get to the chopper," was like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
come on. But
Yes.
no, it's like it's real good.
3 starts with the train, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that stuff's good.
Like yeah, I mean that, and also Wesley Snipes making the "Why were you arrested?" Tax evasion.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
we know that's why you were.
And it's got Antonio Banderas like
Yeah.
almost like auditioning for the Expendables movie.
Yeah.
It's almost like, could I please be in your movie? Like, hey guys,
Oh,
come on.
and he never shuts up the entire time. He's
Right.
just constantly talking.
Yeah.
So, like, there's so many like jokes that don't work in those movies, and then there's ones every once in a while that totally do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's one where they're all walking in a line, and like Jason Statham walks by, and he's like talking about Antonio Banderas. He's like, that guy gives me a headache, and Sylvester Stallone's like, "Ugh," you know, like, he's, like doing his thing.
Right.
And then like Antonio Banderas walks by, and he's like, I don't think the tall one likes me. And he's like, don't worry, he doesn't like anyone. And then Dolph Lundgren walks by, he's like, what do you say? He's like, he likes you. And then they just keep on going. He likes you.
Yeah.
Like that works.
Yep. Yeah, it's so weird. The second one just sucks on toast.
It really does.
They brought it back around for the third one.
Mm-hmm.
I like the phrase "sucks on toast."
Yeah, I like saying it.
Other than them writing out Terry Crews for pretty much the entire movie, that was the only thing
Yeah.
that really sucked.
Yeah,
Like, get rid of Randy Couture. Like, don't get rid of Terry Crews.
because like wasn't the second one the one where it was just like, hey, let's give way to all the young bucks and
No, the third one is where they bring in all the young ones.
oh okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Because like basically it's like, you know, they go on their one mission, they rescue Wesley Snipes, and then get like immediately go into another mission, and that's where Terry Crews gets shot by Mel Gibson.
Right.
Spoilers. And and then he's like, no more, you're all done. I'm
Yeah.
going to go with some young people.
Mm-hmm.
When you get that guy from that movie and that boxer
Yep.
who probably did some bad things,
Okay.
and Ronda Rousey and that nondescript hacker dude.
Okay. Yeah, this was the part of 3 I did not like.
But they all like pretty much immediately get caught, and that becomes
Right.
the motivation to bring the old guys back.
And was this the one where it's like Jet Li literally drops in and like the third act just like, hey, I
Yeah.
launched myself out of his satellite.
Well, it's just like he's working for Arnold Schwarzenegger now. It's like,
Oh.
you know, it's like, okay. Or I think he says he's working for Church, which doesn't make any sense because he's not Church. Church was Bruce Willis.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, they replaced him with Harrison Ford,
Yeah.
Take me to church.
who at least seems like he's having fun.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah. I mean, it's funny because like I honestly think there was another joke in there, like one of those meta jokes that just doesn't work in those movies. And Harrison Ford was like, "I'm not fucking reading that," because like there's a line where like he's flying the helicopter and he's got Jet Li on one gun and Arnold on the other one, and like he like barrel rolls the helicopter and Arnold's like, "Where'd you learn how to fly?" And it's like, I'm pretty sure he was supposed to say some Han Solo reference there, and he's just like, "It's your turn, Trench," or whatever. Yeah, he's just like, "Fuck that line, just shoot at him."
You're probably right.
Because I swear, it's just like it does.
Does he
like
does he give an eye roll or anything?
No, he just kind of like he just goes like, "It's your turn, Trench," which I think is I think that's man. I feel like Jet Li's accent has gotten worse over time. Like when he was making his American movies, I did not feel like he was as bad as he is in like the latter Expendables. Like I could not understand a goddamn thing he was saying in 3.
Yeah.
I mean, it not, you know.
Maybe when he stopped making American movies, he just never spoke American anymore, and then just kind of you can lose it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. You don't want to chew in the mic? It only bothers you. Unless you can hear
yeah,
yourself.
just take your headphones off and chew all you want.
Yeah.
BJ's chewing, you guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, you won't be able to hear his hot comments.
But yeah, like I think he was saying I'm working for Trench now, but it sounded like he was saying Church. So
Oh.
now I'm thinking about it. It's like that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he's working for Arnold.
Yeah. Because that movie told Bruce Willis to fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't Harrison Ford essentially say that? Like, he's just like, yeah, it's me. I was cheaper. Or
something like, yeah, we got rid of the other guy. We dumped the other guy or something like that. And then somebody, I think Jason Statham later, is like, I like this guy a lot better in church or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that they gave Bruce Willis the business in that. Mm-hmm. As they should.
Yep.
Stupid fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what did Bruce Willis do?
He's been an asshole for the last 10 years.
That's where a couple of it started.
It's just him being an asshole.
They were like, come be in our movie for 3 days and we'll pay you $2 million. And he's like, no, pay me $3 million. And they said, no, fuck you. We'll get Harrison Ford.
Yeah, and I forgot like Kelsey Grammer was in that for a long time too.
Yeah, that's right.
He's like in it for a lot longer than all the other ones.
Yeah. Doesn't Mel Gibson have some real dumb name?
It's like Broadchurch or something like that.
Gibson?
No, he has some super duper dumb name.
It's something like one of those kind of names like Broadchurch, but it's not. I don't know. Where are you? Where are you?
Slim Nigga.
Wow. Oh, Stonebanks.
Yeah. Stonebanks.
They made a lot of jokes about their names in that one,
yeah.
Because they were doing the James Bond level of Christmas jokes with Jason Statham.
Right.
He's like, yeah, because like, it's just like Sly and him and Antonio Banderas are like in a 2-man take on the thing, and then they're all standing on the runway. Mm-hmm. He's like, you better go. Let's see, Christmas is coming. He's like, but it's July. And it's like, if it wasn't Antonio Banderas, he just sells it. He's like, but it's July.
He's so good in that movie.
He's so good in every movie.
I know.
Much.
Yes.
This is why you need to see Evita. He's great. He's a song and dance band that didn't get to sing and dance enough. It's like, how many years of probably super spry Hugh Jackman did we miss doing musicals?
Yeah. Man, remember when Hollywood almost neutered The Rock?
Damn, son, you got the good gentle locks.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. I'm just working over
here. Okay.
All right. Just building shit.
Just doing some plumbing over there.
But yeah, remember when The Rock got all Disneyfied and was the Tooth Fairy and shit?
Uh-huh.
It was like, oh, it's over for The Rock. Never getting a good movie out of him again.
Mm-hmm.
And then The Rock was like, fuck that.
Yeah. I haven't even made a good movie yet.
The Rundown?
Yeah.
The Rundown is...
The Rundown's all right.
It's okay.
No, The Rundown is good.
It's not as good as you remember it.
No, I've seen it like a dozen times. The Rundown is good.
It's not as good as you remember it.
It's fine.
It is. It's fine. But, man, the wire effects in that are fucking terrible.
Yeah. I'm saying, like, when Rock went full rock,
yeah. Started, like, what, Faster? Like, what was the one where he just didn't say much and just murdered everybody?
I never watched Faster, so
okay.
But I own it on Blu-ray, and yet I've still never popped it in. It was like somewhere I was like, oh, that's still got The Rock, and it's like $4 in this bin, so I should buy that.
Yeah. I think that was like, The Rock is tired of this Disney bullshit.
Yeah, I feel like that was like one of the first comeback ones. But like, yeah, like Scorpion King and Rundown were like the earliest ones, and then it was like he immediately went into like
Tooth Fairy.
Be Cool, Tooth Fairy, Southland Tales weirdness,
Yeah. Well, he was an actor.
Sure.
Then he made a comeback with Walking Tall.
Mm-hmm.
It was a pretty good movie.
It was, surprisingly.
Shouldn't have been, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, what the fuck is this motherfucker known for? Like, I know his name for some reason, but what the hell is this thing? Oh, he's in all the fucking Twilight movies? I don't think that was it.
Who?
It's Kellen Lutz.
Oh.
I feel like there was some action movie where like, he's the next thing. I just don't remember what the fuck it was. Maybe not. Guess not.
Okay.
It's just in the fucking Twilight movies. Wonderful.
Yeah, he was in the Tooth Fairy, he was in the other guys, and then he made Faster. He was just like, all right, Faster, Fast 5, here we go. We're doing this.
I'm back, baby.
Hey.
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 Welcome back.
Thanks. I think this is finally fixed. So
Tightened it?
Yeah, so that every time I move it, it's not going to loosen itself.
Yeah. Tighten up the graphics on level 3?
Yes.
Good job.
Tighten up the graphics on microphone 3.
Actually, you are microphone 3.
Yup.
Wait, he was in the Gem and the Holograms movie?
Who?
The Rock?
Well, gotta watch it now.
Yep.
1, I forgot that was a thing. 2, now I have to watch it.
I feel like I need to correct all the wrongs.
Hey, Kyle! Kyle's here!
See all the Rock movies that I've missed. Because I never saw Tooth Fairy. And I feel like I should.
I never saw it either.
Well, we'll have Rocktober.
Okay. Rocktober!
Watch all the
Watch all the bullshit.
F-tier Rock
The
movies.
Rock. Wait, you don't get The Rock when you type The Rock? Fine.
Dwayne Johnson.
I would like to personally thank you, Harlow, for having a pretty reasonable tool chest.
Thanks. Oh, I just...
Well, now.
I stopped listening halfway through that sentence.
Cool.
I need to click
You know,
on
you go over
The
to
Rock.
people's houses and it's like, hey, I need a screwdriver or a wrench or something. And they pull out, like, the tool Ziploc bag or whatever. And it's got, like...
I got these.
It's got, like, 3 IKEA screwdrivers.
Yes, exactly.
16 Allen wrenches of no known actual size.
Correct.
And, like, a pair of child scissors.
What the fuck is this?
Long shot.
Never even heard of that.
Yeah, he plays the mugger.
Okay.
Is that like his, whatever that John Cena Nickelodeon movie is? Like his version of that?
I don't know.
Speaking of John Cena,
Yeah.
did anybody see his segment from WrestleMania?
I saw photos of it.
He did a pretty good self-diss on his movies.
Why? His movies are good.
Well, yeah, but the general consensus is that they suck.
Well,
So,
the general consensus is wrong.
I-
Because the
I-
Marine is awesome.
The Marine is
I-
fucking
I-
awesome.
I-
Bumblebee
I-
is awesome.
Yes.
Look, I'm with you. It was just a good burn.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, I never watched.
unnecessary.
I never watched that Get Smart movie. I should watch that too.
Get Smart's all right.
Yeah.
Get Smart's
Wait,
all right.
John
Never-
Cena's in Get Smart?
No,
No,
we're still talking
The
about
Rock
Rock.
is-
Oh, The Rock. Okay.
Also, the Race to Witch Mountain. Is that a sequel to something?
Yes, it's a sequel to
It's
Escape
Witch
to
Mountain.
Witch.
Escape
Escape to
to
Witch
Witch
Mountain.
yeah, but it's a
there's a remake?
updated.
Yeah.
reboot.
I don't know if it's technically connected.
Same
to the,
plot and cameos from original cast.
Yeah, it's a reimagining.
A reboot. Cool.
Yeah.
I just know it has that.
That meme image of
Yeah,
him
the meme
turning
image.
around and looking at the girl. Yeah.
Right. That's all I know about it.
Just be aware, we've had this for like 3 years. So
What is that?
Journey to the Mysterious Island.
Oh, I thought
Have
that
we
was-
watched Journey
I thought that was
1?
the same movie.
No.
I didn't realize that was a different movie than
No.
the Witch Mountain. movie.
I'm kind of in that same boat. Just looking at that, I was like, wait a minute. That's
It's a sequel to the Brendan Fraser Journey to the Mysterious Island or whatever.
Timber? January?
Yes.
Is this a body swapping movie?
No,
it's not.
is that the Matthew Perry one?
No. No.
I should look that up since I'm
has
here
got-
on IMDb.
This has got Veronica Mars and Sigourney Weaver in it and stuff.
And The Rock?
And The
I
Rock.
like that you just call her Veronica Mars.
Yeah.
That's her name.
Yeah, I know. It's Kristen Bell, if you prefer.
I don't.
That's the one.
17 again.
Okay, so I was close.
Yeah.
I was 1 year off.
Yeah. Matthew
So
Perry.
wait, is there one called 18 again?
Yes, that's the George Burns one.
Is it? That's the sequel.
No.
Yeah, man, I really missed some Rock movies. I got to fix this. Like I've never seen Snitch.
Do we need to do the Rocktober? Yeah.
I mean,
We've owed him that for a long time.
Yeah.
Empire State. What is that?
Wait, have
Oh,
any
yeah,
of
I've
us
had- yeah.
seen Skyscraper?
I've seen Skyscraper.
I've seen Skyscraper.
Okay. It's good.
Yeah.
Actually, I never watched Rocky Lee's.
I haven't either.
Rocky Lee seems like it.
I
Maybe
actually
should
never
be
watched
a-
San Andreas either.
Oh no! Wait, no.
I know. I need to watch fucking San Andreas.
I have not seen San Andreas. I have seen the Rocky Lees.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's the one where he has the lion head.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
All right. So like, then I got on a really good kick where it's like, obviously, I've seen the Fast and the Furiouses.
Uh-huh.
Fast and Furious, I mean.
Yeah.
I've seen Central Intelligence,
Yeah.
Moana, Baywatch,
Uh-huh.
Jumanji, Rampage, Skyscraper. Yeah, now
You're caught up?
I'm cranking it out now.
Okay, good.
I haven't seen that Fighting with My Family.
Yeah, you don't need to.
movie.
That's just
That's a wrestling movie.
just
Who cares?
wrestling.
Huh?
That's that movie about that lady who did the sex movies.
Paige, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Did she do a sex movie?
Yeah, remember that whole thing?
Is that the one with the belt, with the title belt with the seminal fluid on it? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
What? I didn't know about this.
Yeah, this was that leak that happened.
Yeah, there was ejaculate all over the Divas title, I believe.
She fucked a lot of dudes, and they all recorded it for funsies.
Right, because that's what you do in the
yeah.
year of our Lord 20, whatever that was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, next year, butt stuff.
Yes.
I don't know.
No, this year is butt stuff.
No, that was
last year was butt
last
stuff.
year was butt stuff. I don't
No,
know
last year was eating ass.
Yeah.
Right, but that's
which
butt
is a
stuff.
component of butt stuff, but it took. I mean, it took a starring role
Oh, okay.
in the starring.
This year is
role.
all about asking celebrities to fuck you up.
What?
This whole Twitter is just like, oh my God, Idris Elba beat me about the face and neck.
This is a thing?
Yes.
Like with his Johnson?
I mean,
I'm asking for scientific
Yes.
purposes.
Yes. A lot of it is just, oh my God, The Rock, please punch me in the face.
With his Johnson? Is Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Yes. Yes. That is.
No, I'm asking, is it like with,
Twitter is all about this.
with
this
the
year.
hands or like body parts?
It's just, hey, celebrity, injure me for fun.
Oh, okay.
I want it. Please.
I like to be hip.
I know you do.
No, I don't. I so don't. I enjoy my ignorance.
I do believe that I remarked either in Discord or somewhere else that I wanted Brie Larson to do punishing things to me and or my body.
You're on topic for 2019. Yes.
Maybe
I thought
2019 is the year of. No, we haven't.
I thought my comeback was pretty good. When we made that,
Oh,
because
yeah,
we were
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about butt stuff, and then
Right.
you said something like, something like Brie Larson could do things to my butt or something like that, and then I said like it should be Haley Atwell because she's Peggy.
Right.
Come on, that's funny.
It is funny.
It is funny.
It's funny.
It's so funny.
Should we do a podcast instead of talking about butt stuff for 20 minutes?
Butt stuff.
Butt stuff for 20 minutes? Mr. Lecter.
Thanks for.
Dr. Lecter.
Oh yeah, we were talking about Chuck Tingle books.
Yeah, that started us
Yeah.
down the path of butt stuff, I think.
And then
Pounded
in the butt a billion times by Brie Larson, once for every $1 Captain Marvel made in the box office.
Yeah.
And my reply was, "I'll take a number 3, please," which is that large with a shake. Did you get my repost to your
My repost.
repost?
When? Then?
Did you understand? Yeah.
I don't remember now.
It was maybe it should be Faith Seed.
Oh, because she's a Peggy?
Yeah, 'cause she's
Yeah.
a Peggy.
Yeah.
All right.
It took me a second because like I was switching genres and I was like, I know the name or I think I should know the name, but it was like, oh yeah, it's a video game and she's a Peggy. I get it. I get it. I get it.
You got it.
All right, let's do a thing.
Okay.
Just to get that all out.
Re-recording.
Yep.
Cool.
All that hot content. 30 minutes of content. 30 minutes of butt stuff.
Now that you
Is
have
in the
had
can.
all of the good parts of the show, now saddle up for the boring part.
All right, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey, BMFcast.
Bam. Cast.
Oh, okay. I thought there was more to that. So I'm Harlow.
We have no Mackie, but I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And what we do each and every episode of this here BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Bad movie. Coming Got a bad movie. Dr. Lecter.
Jesus.
Sorry. And what we do each and every episode of this here BMFcast is we go and watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Come in here and talk about it for the first half, and then we rate them. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
Robot jocks.
Like our favorite.
However,
Yeah.
there are bad movies that stay away. They get a negative sliding scale, 1 to 5 bags, as in giant bags of trash.
In which they belong.
No longer named after any specific movie.
Nope. Just garbage that you put in a truck and drive away.
Well, because we keep redefining what our worst movie ever is, so... Whereas Robot Jocks is still the best.
Absolutely. Never will be defeated.
So we are deep in the middle of April.
April.
And
April's my favorite Pokemon.
week 2 brings us 1985's L.A. Streetfighters.
Yeah.
Notable for being the movie before Miami Connection.
Yes.
The same director.
Uh-huh.
I was going to try his name, and then my mouth is not wanting to cooperate. Woo-Sang Park, or a.k.a. Richard Park.
Richard Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe this was the movie right before Miami Connection.
Yes.
Plot
right
summary?
before?
Yeah, he cut his teeth on this before.
I mean, he made other things.
He did, yeah. He made a lot of things.
But yeah, let's read this mostly inaccurate plot summary and talk more about it.
All right.
A Korean immigrant in L.A. encounters difficulties when he refuses to join the all-Korean gang in his high school.
Okay, yes.
Yep. Yeah, that happens.
There are many things wrong with this plot summary, as there usually are. Let us begin at
The end. High school.
the end. High school. Everyone in this movie is like 45 years old plus.
Correct.
Philip Bree is the only one that's even remotely close to high school age.
Yes.
Philip Ree, who plays Tony.
Right.
Yeah.
He is the Korean immigrant.
Jun Chong.
He is.
A.k.a. Young, who is like the main person in the movie.
He is.
I believe, let's see. I had to look it up because it wasn't on IMDb because, they've decided like, hey, some
Did you
people...
say like 1954, 1944?
I think it was like 44. I had to like look him up because it was like, it was one of those like, oh, we're not putting that on IMDb.
Yeah, so he was 41 years old when this came out.
Born in 1944.
Or, yeah, when this came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. High school.
Yes.
So, Philip Ree, who is our youngest, we also saw him in Hell Squad
Yes, we did.
and Best of the Best.
Yeah.
There are a few other BMFcast alumni, including James Liu of Steel Justice, Action Jackson, Savage Beach. Jesus, there's a lot. Best of the Best, Martial Law, The Perfect Weapon, Guns, Do or Die, Showdown in Little Tokyo, Mission of Justice, Tough and Deadly.
Yeah.
And that's it. I thought, honestly, when I was looking at that list, I thought that was
Another person.
another person. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Wait, I thought Philip Bree was the one that was known for all the best of the best.
Nope. Well, yes.
He's known for...
But we've only seen one Best of the Best.
Oh, okay.
But he's known for all of the best. of the
Right.
bests.
He's like
But
the only
James
one that's
Liu
stuck
has
around.
been in fucking everything.
Okay,
and
sure.
was also in Best of the Best.
Yes.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, man. All right. So this is going to be one of those movies where we're just going to dance around the plot because the movie
Also
dances
dances around the plot, yeah.
Because as we established, it's other than Philip Ree, who was like 22 or so when this came out. It's in a high school for literally no reason. Like it's
The high school serves no purpose.
there's
whatsoever.
a lot of questionable choices in Richard Park's filmmaking, as we've established with watching Miami Connection.
Yeah.
It just floats from scene to scene in order to get you to another action piece. And the parts that aren't action pieces are real bad. It's all ADR'd. It's
real bad, too. Like
they don't even bother trying to lip sync like even remotely close.
No. Some people will clearly be talking, and they didn't even bother to record anything for them.
no.
And then things are just mistimed. Like there's a point way later in the movie, but I'm only pointing it out because it's one of the worst cases of like, why didn't you try a little on the ADR? Because there's a point where one of our characters meets a female and then is like meeting her dad, and then there's a point where they're like, oh, can we go to the parade?
Yeah.
And then he just like he very clearly goes like, sure, or whatever, and then it's like they keep talking, and then it cuts back to him when his mouth isn't moving, and it's like, sure, I guess that would be fine,
Right.
and it's like, you had there was the point where his mouth was moving where you put that line, but
It's like people were falling asleep in the recording booth, and they just
One take.
Yeah, it's just we got to get out of here.
Yeah, there's no dialogue or sound that is recorded like live.
Yeah, there's no natural
Obviously,
sound. in
there's
this
no
movie.
natural sound. Like
None.
but
that's one way to keep boom mics out of your shot, I guess.
sure. Well, I mean, it's a lot easier to not have to record sound on set, as
But
we
also-
learned with 48 Hour Film Festival.
Like,
and my suggestion.
A lot of times in martial arts movies, they're dubbed in English because you can't understand what they're saying.
Right.
But like, I
These
have a
people
feeling
are speaking English
well,
the whole time.
Yeah, but like a couple of them, I believe are dubbed by the actual actors.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it's like I still am not sure what they're saying. Like
Yeah,
the dubbing is not helping your situation.
Yeah, there's one Japanese samurai Ronin Yakuza. They give him like all kinds of things. Like
do, yeah.
guy later, and it's like that guy is you can't understand a goddamn word he's saying.
Yeah.
But anyway, as I was saying, the high school means literally nothing. It's just a excuse to bring two people together.
Yeah.
It's only there to cause confusion for
Right.
the audience because
Right.
none of these people are in high school. It's very clear.
Yeah.
This, I mean,
Because it has nothing to do with the plot later. It's just like,
No.
oh, we met in the school and these toughs were outside it, and we should go have a street fight.
Yeah.
Because it's people in classrooms, and one guy, I think it's our dude who hits on the lady who, like I said, met her earlier, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Tony, like, I like that he like puts his, he's like, hey, from across the classroom, and then he puts his feet up, and on the bottom of his shoes, it's just written hi.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm gonna start doing that. Like,
Yeah.
that's pretty smooth.
I'm actually, I'm thinking like one foot say hi, and the other would be like, what's up?
Yeah. And she's into it. She's like, oh,
Yeah, that's good.
And it
That's
totally works like right away.
Yeah, but
But-
like so they kind of set that up, and then it's like he's walking out of that class and bumps into our bad guy of the movie, Chan.
Yeah.
And it's just like he's just like, hey, what are you doing here? Like you got to new students have to come through me, and it's
Yeah.
going to cost you $5.
You're new. You have to report to us and pay us $5.
And he-
This so easily could have been
Anywhere.
a Street Toughs
Yeah.
movie.
Yes.
Like,
It's just you
There's
just
a-
bump into them in the neighborhood.
right, there's a huge Koreatown.
Yeah.
So there are two problems. One, it's set in a high school where it didn't need to be
Mm-hmm.
because there's a huge Koreatown in LA, and it actually looks really fucking cool. Like, especially at night, it looks awesome. There's all
Yeah.
sorts of lights and
Free,
signs.
free production value.
Yeah.
But
and,
if
but then the other, like, half of the movie also takes place in Chinatown.
yeah.
And these people are supposed to be Korean.
But if
Well,
you
the
notice,
one
like,
guy is. I don't know if about everybody else. I mean,
Well, the thing says Korean street gang.
but if you notice, like, there aren't really any residential exteriors in this movie.
there are not.
So I wonder if they couldn't get permission because a lot of the LA stuff seems like it's stolen shots. Like that parade, that seems like they just grabbed a camera and were like, "Hey, go fuck around in that parade."
But it also didn't look like that much of a parade.
No, it didn't, and I don't know why there's a parade in LA at 9:00 at night. But it just seemed like anytime you see any landmarks or anything noticeable, it wasn't actually part of the production.
Yeah.
I think it was just stuff they stole.
yeah. But anyway, you could easily eliminate the school and still have them meet and everybody meet and it'd be fine. Especially because, like, right after this scene, I think there's like one other brief time they return to school just for a minute where they're like, because
There are two or three scenes where they're in school for 12 seconds walking around in the halls,
And-
but
and-
it serves no purpose.
yeah, it's just this is the problem with this guy's movies when it's not an action scene is it's 15, 20 seconds, maybe a minute of like people playing grab ass somewhere and just making a lot of like noises, and then it's like, okay, we're done with this scene and with this
Yes.
and like move on to the next place.
There are a lot of conversations between two people walking somewhere where they are just both laughing.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you laughing at?
Right.
Like, neither of you are saying anything. You're just walking along and laughing.
Yeah. But so you could eliminate that. It could just be like, but whatever. It's like, Young it like steps in and like intervenes and
It's like, what's all this about?
yeah, and it's like, what are you doing? Why are you messing with this guy? And then they're instantly best friends. Like he steps in.
Well, because he steps in and then cut to this alleyway
well,
at
he's like,
night
name the place
where it's like
we'll fight.
Rumble Town, and it's like, we're gonna fight. So it's the bad guy gang and Young's gang, which is just this multicultural, just
a
all
hodgepodge of
just
people.
the people who have been swept up into this. We're losers, but we all joined up into this gang, and they fight.
What was the name of the band in Miami Mechanics? The Dragon Fight?
Yeah,
Is that it? Really?
Dragon Sound.
Dragon Sound.
dragons. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's
They're almost the same thing.
it's the prototype to that
Yeah.
because they even at one point have like a emotional breakdown moment of
Right.
sadness for a character.
Yeah, but they go straight to street fight, and at first it's just it's just fists, and they're each kind of getting some blows on each other, and then it's like, hey, Chan, and like someone throws him a stick, and then
Yep.
it's
and then it sticks.
yeah, then
at
they're
dawn.
fighting sticks, and then he ends up beating Chan, and like
This is why I was confused. I did not know which. I did not know I had a father. I didn't know which group was which at first in this alley scuffle. So I thought that I thought he was the bad guy because there's a bad guy in Chan's group that looks a lot like Young. So I was real confused.
I was confused for about 5 minutes because it seemed like the two groups fought, and then Tony went off with the gang, but I thought he went off with the evil gang, and I was like, why are you friends with them now?
Yeah.
But so it took me about 5 minutes to settle into what this movie was doing, but it's so disjointed that it's just like, what?
What actually happens is, so Young wins, which I thought the good guy had lost.
That's what I thought too.
And
that's
then
why I was confused.
Two people show up and offer Young money. They're like,
Batman's parents show up.
Right. It's like, hey, we were just on our way to the theater, but we heard about some street toughs fighting.
Oh, these are just like the.
The whitest people
why
in the
these
world.
people were recruiting for bouncers is beyond me, because it's just it's disheveled guy in a suit who I can't even say who he looks like because he's so nondescript, and then it's like
he's like 8 different fathers from 80s sitcoms,
and then it's super disheveled Christian Shaw with like she put her makeup on in the car, like I mean it's just like and they're just like, yeah, we represent the people and we need muscle for a party, and they're like, you'd be great, we can pay you
security
$200 right now, and he just gets it, he's like, yes,
and it just cuts to LA toga party in a parking lot. It's just dudes in togas.
Well, it's like an empty warehouse or like an abandoned roller disco or something. But yeah, there's people half-heartedly having a toga party, and for some reason, like I think there's 5 people in the gang, like the good guy gang, the young gang, if you will,
the GGG.
That isn't
gang.
young at all.
Right.
But for some reason, Young and Tony are the only ones that are like in togas.
Yes.
And they're just like mingling throughout the crowd, like basically walking into the dancers going, ha, yeah, get out of the way, buddy. It's like, we're the, and the other ones are just standing outside, like opening doors and stuff. And then it's just like, all right, well, we're done with that.
That's where I swear to God the cohesion of this movie ends, because it's like, so far we went from high school battle to a battle in an alleyway to Batman's parents offering them a job to working the job, and I was like, okay, this is disjointed, but it all makes linear sense. And then after that, I don't understand the space-time continuum at all.
They go wandering off, like they all seem to want to go home. Like I think Young takes Tony back to his place, and then we get the drama of like his mom comes home drunk all the time because he's like
another completely unnecessary.
Well, because he like
movie.
invites him back home, and it's like, and he's got this place with like all this martial arts artwork all over the wall and everything. He's like,
fixes him a drink.
You live here alone? He's like, and he gets all somber. He's like, no, I live here with my mother, but she's drunk all the time and doesn't usually come home till like 3 a.m. Anyway,
I don't want to talk about it.
You hear like slam because she's coming home with some guy, and then it's like, Mom, who's 2 years older than me. What?
My younger sister is also my mother.
Yeah.
And then this like 25-year-old dude is hanging all over her, and he's just like,
that dude
out
is
of the way,
not 25
kid.
Years old. He's like, he's the same age as Young, and he's like, stay out of the business, stay out of this business, kid. I'm like,
I'm gonna go plug your mom.
Looks
dude.
like you guys both work together in the same call center in real life.
Yeah. So like that happens, and then they're just like, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
And then because like this movie doesn't know how to do anything, they're all of a sudden like, we got another job.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because it's like it feels like it's the same night where they were just
I
like,
thought
they
it
were
was
like,
the same
well,
night.
we worked the toga party. We went home and like drunk mom came home at 3 a.m. and they're like, all right, another party's cranking up at 3 a.m. We got to go be muscle for that.
Yeah, because they go to like the club hangout where like the other 3 dudes just perpetually live in some, studio apartment somewhere, and they all just hang out. So yeah, they pop in there and it's like, hey guys, hey.
Oh, because the one guy's showering in the.
Oh yeah,
like he's like, I don't know. It's like a shower in the middle of like the botany center because it's like there are plants all around.
The shower walls are just plants.
Yeah.
And they offer him a banana, like as he's coming out of this.
It looks like they're trying to make a banana joke, like, we all saw your donger because we walked in on you showering.
Yeah.
But then the guy just eats the banana.
You need another banana there, Chief?
Then you eat the banana. Yeah. Thus disarming him. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
He had a pointed stick.
Shut up. But yeah, so like they recruit this guy. They're like, we got another job. He's like, woo, let me put some pants on. And this is like an actual
That's
party.
a quote.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then it's like they go to like kind of more of an actual party because this looks like a club with doors and like
Yes.
a valet parking and
It's
everything.
like it's the exterior of what appears to be a theater of some kind, and they are just there's a dude there stamping hands for people to come in, and they're
it
just
might be
there.
a concert.
Yeah, but we never see an arena of any kind. It's just we just see this
it's more
doorway.
people just half-heartedly. We did see the inside. They're just it's more people. Every single party scene in this, it's just people going like,
Yeah,
party.
just kind
Well,
of
the
like
toga party
sway.
people were
Woo.
getting the fuck down.
There's a breakdance scene later
Yeah.
where motherfuckers are fucking.
I think this
dancing.
is where the breakdance was.
No, we never see anything in this club.
Oh.
We literally like it's just a line of people coming in, get their hand stamped, and then fucking guy with a balding man, a Hulk Hogan haircut, mustache, and a half shirt.
He looks like Matthew McConaughey in Dazed and Confused, but like with less hair.
Yeah, like if a fat guy was cosplaying as Harley Quinn comes in with his tufts, and they're just like, we're not waiting in line. So
Cosplaying as Suicide Squad Harley Quinn.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Daddy's little monster.
right.
Yes.
So our heroes stuff them all into the box office, basically. And then we see them closing up.
Yeah.
And we're like, what? Did
Oh,
they just-
because these guys just skip the line and they're like, "What the hell?" And so they all come out and beat him up in like 2 seconds, and then just stuff him in a broom closet.
I
or
think
whatever.
it's supposed to be implied that they hustled them out.
Yes.
okay.
But again, this movie,
Spatial awareness, not this
Yeah.
movie's strong
yeah,
point.
Strikes
then
all over
suddenly
the
like
place.
the party's over and they're locking up, and then just like they walk like 3 feet and like lights come on and like the whole
30 different cars
Yes.
light them up.
and that
They
never,
should have died here.
yeah, nothing really comes of it because like there's all these lights light up at once, and then 2 motorcycles start circling their car with baseball bats and them going like woo, and then they stop and bust his windows of his convertible
It's
Cadillac.
convertible. Why were his 4 windows rolled up if his top was down?
You know, it sometimes it keeps the wind from like buffeting your hair too much.
They weren't in the car.
You wouldn't know anything about this. But
The car was parked.
yeah, you put your windows up when you park.
You also put the top up.
No, you don't. It's California.
You couldn't put the top up though
It
because they had
never
the
rains.
size in the
Yeah,
back.
yeah. That's okay. So that's another thing. Like since you mentioned it, so it's a convertible Cadillac.
Yeah.
That is spray painted blue or house painted blue.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It
And,
was
and,
a
after,
shitty
and,
paint
at,
job.
and at this point, we'll never have windows again.
No,
because for the rest of the movie at least. But it's a blue Cadillac, shitty paint job blue, and he has like very badly hand spray painted some sort of symbols onto the hood and the trunk.
Yeah.
Yes.
We never really get a good look at what they are. I mean, I think it's just
Well, we get a good look. We just don't speak any
Korean?
languages
Yeah.
but English.
but it's like it's got that, and then like where the back headrest should be, there are a pair of size. Like, yeah,
Yep.
it's
Yes.
a pair of size. As in Raphael of the Ninja Turtles, the little pointy,
Oh,
yeah,
those.
The
pointy
little
knife
pointy
things.
knives things. Yeah.
But like, there are multiple scenes where people are like riding on the back of this car, and I'm like,
Are you
okay,
sitting on the
okay,
side?
They were obviously removable, as we found out later.
Number one, like that's just dangerous for riding in the back of a car anyway. Like if you hit
Yeah.
the gas too hard, your head's impaled.
Yes.
But anyway, that's there, and it's for most of the movie, it's just like, yeah, it's there. Don't pay too much of attention to
Yes.
it. Anyway, so they break their windows, and then it's like it's the guys that they just beat up earlier, like are all bloodied up, and they're like,
They've got baseball bats.
yeah, and they have some sort of chant. They're like, it's I guess Spike was the short shirt dude, maybe.
They're the spikers.
Yeah, it's like Spike Gangs, and they're like, we're gonna kill you and spike you and kill you and spike you, and it's like, and
They've
then
all
it's-
got bats.
and then it just starts like, well, let's spread out, and first he goes over and like kicks the trunk of his car, and they've got weapons in the back, so they arm up with just sticks. I mean, not like guns and knives.
They're
and
like
yeah,
stuff.
kendo
no,
sticks.
there's not an
Yeah.
arsenal in
No,
there. It's
but
just
like there's
sticks.
like get some sticks, and then we'll fight, and they fight these dudes and just kind of fuck them up. But in the chaos of this, we get to see for a second Biff Tannen, in the same year as Back to the Future, is one of Spike's gang member dudes.
Yeah.
Look.
You and I both saw him at the same time.
They're like,
and
is that Biff? And
I was
then-
thinking, like, man, that guy looks like Biff. There's no way that's Biff.
it's totally Biff.
It's totally Biff.
Tom Wilson, if you prefer.
I mean, you got to take what work is out there sometimes.
Sure.
Yeah, you
absolutely.
can't put all your horses in one Back to the Future.
No.
I guess.
And maybe Back to the Future was filming at the same high school as this movie. So they got him on loan for the day.
Right.
Right.
But anyway, so they fuck these dudes up, and it's inconsequential. We never see these guys
Right,
again.
yeah, it doesn't
So,
matter.
No, we do see some of these guys again.
do we?
Because there's the
the amalgamation gang.
amalgamation of toughs.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's some
Which
leftovers.
is going to be my like evil organization.
But so let's just talk about the fighting in this movie, since
Okay.
this scene is like the first really big, like Donnybrook, like, okay, everyone's kung fu fighting, doing their stuff. Everyone is competent. Well, okay, the main cast is competent at doing moves.
Well, they should be. They're all like actual martial artists to do stunt choreography and stuff.
The film doesn't do them any favors because the angles are usually pretty bad to where it's clear that they're missing, or the sound effects also aren't there to emphasize when people are getting hit and when people are dodging. So the fight scenes in this are all very energetic, but some of them are so... Like, some are just fights. Some are just sloppy fights. Like, dudes are doing wrestling moves, and it's just chaos. But others, it's highly, choreographed, but the movie isn't doing these guys any favors.
Right. I like most of the fights in this movie.
Yeah.
Because they look a little bit frenetic, and they look more like fights.
Yes, they don't look staged. It doesn't... I mean,
as a movie fight, they're not that... They're honestly not that great because of what you
there's some Enter the Dragon stuff at the end where it's obviously just, like, okay, come at me one at a time and do this kind of stuff. But, like, the gang fights are mostly pretty good. It's just dudes picking up whatever they can find. There's a lot of guys with shovels in this movie. It's just like, I've got a shovel. I'm going to kill you.
To me, besides maybe some of the stuff at the end where, it's like one-on-one fighting, there's only... To me, I thought there was only one good gang fight, and we're going to get to that soon.
Okay.
But yeah, this one's kind of messy, and it's like it's over, and they're like, "Yay, we won!"
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what happens next because this is where I start to lose the cohesion of what happens next. But
Tony's dating that girl.
Yeah, Tony starts dating the girl because he makes his parents own a. That we actually saw this earlier, but like his parents own a grocery store because when he goes after he gets done with Young and his drunk mom, he's like.
I gotta make a delivery.
Well, he says something like, Young's like, "Oh, you got good parents and stuff," like and so he goes and like sees his doting parents who are like loading up more bananas. There's a banana thing here in this movie, but and they're just like, go study, it's very important. So he's like, okay, but yeah, eventually
I am the only actual student in this movie.
Eventually he goes and has to make a delivery, and it just happens to be to Lily's father's place. Lily being Chan's sister that we find out later, right? Because like. They're just walking down the street, like Chan catches him and is just like, "What the hell? What are you doing with this guy?"
Yeah,
and then like gets in his face and eventually just
punches him right in the face.
Pops him in the face, and then like, she's like, "We got to go."
Like, we should leave.
Yeah, well, there's like 10 of them, so it's like we should probably go because he seems like he wants to fight, but it's just him and her.
Is that when they go to the parade?
Well, they take a little side like she.
They're just out.
Yeah, she gets him to like walk away finally, and then like they stop a good ways away and sit for a minute, and she like. Produces a convenient handkerchief out of nowhere and fixes his lip. But I think is this where we get the line? I think it's like right around here.
Okay, I think
maybe it's the next day at school or something.
No, because they were walking to the parade.
Right. Okay. She had asked her dad if they could go to the parade, and he responded 70 seconds afterwards.
Right. Yeah. So they're walking to the parade, and she's talking about Chan and is just like...
Well, it's after he's hit her.
No.
Or hit him.
No. They have this conversation before because they're talking about their confrontation at school.
I didn't think that she knew.
Yeah, because remember, they're fucking with the parade. They're like, hey, now you have this mayor's medal. Now let's drive your car through the parade. It's after that that they see them.
I don't think it's until Chan and Lily and Tony were all in one scene where we know that he's her brother. Like, we know, he was the tough guy from school or whatever, but I think it's like they came up. I don't know.
Well, okay, regardless.
He gets punched, and then there's the line afterwards,
all right,
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he gets punched. They clean the blood off of him, and they stand up to walk away, and she's like, take my hand, let's go for a walk. And they take 4 steps and go behind a bush and make out.
They don't really go behind a bush. There's one branch of a cherry tree that's blossoming that's hanging in between them and the camera.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But, okay, so at some point, the two of them are having a conversation. And she says, there's something I have to tell you about Chan. And you're like, oh, this is going to be a big secret. What's the secret to his meanness? And her second sentence is...
You could do it. Come on, I believe in you, big guy.
Get it out, Chuck.
Don't be mad at Chan.
Please don't be mad at Chan.
Please don't be mad at Chan.
Okay. There's something I need you to know about Chan.
And then she
Please
stops.
Don't be mad at Chan.
She stops talking.
Yep.
And you're like, is that what you needed him to know about Chan? Like, she takes a beat and then, like, 30 seconds later starts talking about his childhood or something. But it's like, what on earth does that even have to, like, what? There's something you need to know about Chan. Please don't be mad at Chan. That's not...
Somebody fucked up the order of those.
Yeah, those lines of dialogue were in the wrong order. But goddamn, it was funny as shit.
It's so good.
So, God.
Yeah. But
So
anyway,
anyway,
so
they're
there's
dating. Chan doesn't like it.
There's this mild conflict that really never comes up again as
Yeah.
far as like, Chan never. You think you could do like a Karate Kid thing, like, oh, you're not allowed to date her.
Oh,
Yeah.
it comes up again. It definitely comes up again.
Yeah.
Does it?
I think so. Doesn't
Yeah,
it?
in a way.
Oh, no, it doesn't. No, he's mad at Young for some reason.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I mean. It's like, like
yeah, why was he mad at Young?
at this point, it's like, well, he's mad at Young because Young kicked his ass in the intro scene, like where he left him hanging on the tail
in the
on the
LA
railroad
street fight,
fight.
yeah.
But anyway,
He shouldn't be murder mad at him, though.
no.
He is.
So all right. I don't remember.
This is how confusing this movie is.
It's confusing.
I think it's like after this, they're like, okay, we're done with the date, and back to the Young and Tony show. And then they're like, oh, we have this other. Actually, they're not even specifically going about a job. They just wander over to like this Mexican party, like mariachi band's playing, and like they just sit up and kind of are watching this for a while. Meanwhile, we've seen this yet another street gang get
Mexican.
Oh no,
gang.
they're
Yeah,
working. They're working. They're working for
Are
that
they?
party. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they have two of their guys at the door that get tossed
Sure.
out.
Okay, but
Yeah. It's
that's what I'm
fucked
saying.
up. It's hard to
they
follow.
They
but
never
yeah.
say like we're going to work another job. It's just like they just show up and they're like, hey, cool music and everything. And
Yeah, they're just enjoying the show.
But
They're
we've-
not. Doesn't seem like they're working.
we've
but-
seen this Mexican gang now, like gearing up. They're like, find that Young and fuck him up.
Well,
Like,
they're in a hangout somewhere, knives drawn, chanting.
yeah, they're like pounding on a
They're like
table with
blade,
knives.
blade, 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 and then main dude comes out and says, "We're gonna go fuck up Young."
But remember, he comes like, so there are the two guys like with the red bow tie and
Yeah.
the red suspenders.
Yeah.
Outside of that
Right.
Mexican
Two-
joint.
two dudes working
Those
the
guys
door.
are part of the gang.
Yes.
Okay, sure.
And Young and Tony and one other guy, the fifth member of the gang, they're inside.
Yeah.
And the Mexicans, the Blades, they come
Yeah. they
to
come
that
in.
place
Yes.
and they toss the
If
two guys outside apart.
if they were working this place, they're just sitting up like in a balcony, like just listening to the music. They're not working it very well, is what I'm
Well,
saying.
no,
Yeah.
they
They're
work
supervising.
none of these things very well, but
Yeah.
the two guys outside are definitely working.
Yep.
And then when they come in, Young comes down and says, "Hey, how did you guys get in here?
Yeah,
Like,
they-
how did you make it through our impenetrable bouncer squad
Yeah.
of two
And-
skinny idiots?"
And their reasoning is like, we used to work security for this venue.
Yeah.
Now you are.
You took our
You took our
jobs."
jobs, basically.
right.
And,
The Mexicans
Yes.
are mad at other people for taking.
yeah.
And Young is like,
really makes you think.
Young is like, we didn't take your jobs.
Yeah.
These jobs were offered to us. Like,
Yeah.
we
It's
didn't
like,
do anything.
If you've got a problem or whatever, like let's just settle it.
Yeah.
And then
And the
they're
guy
just like,
says, "Well, this is still my barrio, so fight.
"Yeah, meet us here at this place tomorrow."
Meet us at."
Meet us at
Las
noon
Palmas?
in Glen Palm Glen.
Yeah. Which
And you're like,
Palmdale.
yeah, Palmdale.
this is the gang fight that I like because
Yeah.
it's fucking weird and crazy.
Yeah.
But like,
They're out in like Joshua Tree National Park or something. They're nowhere near LA at
yeah,
this point.
yeah, they're just like it is like they have to turn off the actual street into where there aren't
Right.
where the
Yeah.
streets aren't
They're
paved
no
with
longer
street.
fighting in
Streets have no name here.
and they have to like
Your streets have no name here.
and they. We're just gonna make you two jokes on all night, aren't we?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, I'm not even gonna do
No,
that.
that's fine.
Maybe it was a Sunday too.
Could have been. It probably was.
But they just show up and like these guys are just hanging out like with a broken down van and a cactus.
Yeah.
And they're like, I guess we're gonna fight now. But they all just gotta
It's a
get out.
Joshua Tree.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
They were also told no weapons.
Yeah. They were
Meet
like,
us at 12 in
Right.
Palmdale.
and as soon as they pull
Right.
up in the car, they haven't even gotten out of the car. It's just like knives, like everything, and they're like, and then like, thankfully we were like, I thought they said no weapons, and then
Tony
Tony's
says,
like, I thought they said no weapons. And so like,
Young's
they're
like,
like,
And Young's like, "Oh yeah, I
yeah,
knew."
let's not get out of the car
Yeah.
yet. And so they send like some big dude to like up to piss on the car.
yes.
And that goes on for a while. And they have the weirdest sound effect for him actually pissing.
It sounds like a goddamn fire hose.
It's a fire hose. It's
The
just,
Foley artist was all over the place in this movie.
yeah. So he
But-
pisses on the car, and they're just like,
Oh yeah,
well, let's just throw it in reverse.
no, let's throw it and drive.
Yeah.
Because they almost rode this dude over and make them all like
Yeah,
get out of
he
their chairs and
tries
stuff.
to drive over Gataputo.
And
Yeah.
Tony drive by face kicks a guy.
Yep.
He just sticks his leg out, and whoever's in the way gets kicked in the face. And then they just like, see ya, and they take off.
But they don't like take off. They just like go
No.
to get enough distance, and
Yeah.
then they all hop out and spread into different
Yeah.
directions.
Grab weapons.
Meanwhile,
I
this
think.
gang of 40 piles into one pickup truck.
God damn it movie.
And so they drive down the road, I don't know, 500 feet, not very far. They just
about
pull
that.
into a farm, a goat farm.
Hey, go.
and just stop. And they're like, okay, we'll fight here. And then it's just everybody fights.
Well, that one dude was superimposing.
Man,
Fucking superimposed. Sorry. Fucking Roger, stop us over here.
Just popped in my head. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Luckily, none of these guys were tied to the truck, as usual. So
They did beat some people with some hickory sticks, though.
we're so sorry.
yeah.
None of this makes sense.
what
anyway.
the hell happened to us?
People have heard that album, I hope.
It's fine. Anyway,
Remember, just look up when Adam Sandler was funny.
yeah. So
Take the fucking Wayback Machine.
everyone fights in this, and there's one really good moment where Tony is fighting this one guy, and he is fucking him up, and fucks him up all the way to the ground, and then fucking Macho Man Randy Savage drops an elbow on this guy while he's down.
Yeah, well, he does like a sweep the leg or something to knock him down, and then from sweep the leg position, drops the elbow on him. It's magnificent.
I think it's Young ends up fighting the big dude that pissed on the car.
He does.
And that just entails like lots of like throwing him through various like walls and doors and other.
This dude is shirtless also, and he's being thrown through pallets and walls and.
He's earning the $14 he made that day.
Yes. Like there's one point where his hand goes through like a wooden box where I'm not convinced that was special effects. I think he was actually bleeding.
Yeah, he might have been.
He did kind of look at his hand like, oh shit, fuck. They said no cuts. All right.
All right, keep going. Yeah, so this is all a pretty good fight because it's just everyone just like dudes are getting picked up and thrown through fences, and it's just it's a good amount of chaos going on. And then it just kind of
ends.
They just cut to the five of them like, woo, we're going to the disco now.
And I think this is like when they party for like a half a second.
They go to the disco club.
This is where the breakdancing is, because like there's a whole weird thing, like the Chan Lily thing and Tony thing never comes up again, because like he's hanging out with Lily in this place. Chan is there just giving them the stink eye, but doesn't do anything about it. And it's like there's breakdancing and disco and all kinds of shit happening, and it's just like, oh, good times.
Well, also, so there's been this running bit of Young has been just through ADR been telling Tony, you're too in love with that girl, you need to get laid. So at one point when they're just driving around LA for 12 seconds, they pull up to these two girls who are standing outside a restaurant or something. And like this is the first like heel turn for our hero here, because he goes over to them and is just like, hey, my friend would like the sex, I have money. And they're like, we're not prostitutes, get the hell out of here. And he's like, well, how come you're dressed like prostitutes? Ha ha ha. And it's like, whoa, buddy, fuck you.
I think he tried to pick them up normally.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, we're waiting for our boyfriends who are big guys and they'll beat you up. And he's like, well, would money change your mind?
Right. And they're like, oh
we're
my
not
God.
prostitutes.
Yeah. So they get chased away, just like, haha, women, and then they drive to an actual prostitute.
Jesus.
And good Lord.
It's so dumb.
It's so he's
Tony's like a 22-year-old guy who's clueless of how anything works, because it's like he makes it all the way up to the room with her.
He does.
And then she's like, feel on my titties. And he's like, what? I don't.
Ma'am, please, no. And she's like taking off his belt, and he's like, that's my belt. What do you know? And then he's like, I gotta go.
Something came up.
Right.
This is some shit out of like a 80s
teen comedy.
Sex comedy.
Yeah, but it's like these are grown-ass men.
There's also a whole thing where like...
Well, they're supposed to be high schoolers.
Yeah. There is so much inconsequential shit that I don't want to mention, except like that I think about it. It's like, no, there's something really dumb in that scene, and it needs to be mentioned. There's a point where they're just like, hey, I'm thirsty. Let's pull over here and get some beer. God. And there's a liquor store that is...
Oh, wait, no, this is not inconsequential at all. This is very important.
I know. I'm saying. That's what I was like, it means nothing to the fucking plot, except for the fact that, like, in this liquor store, before they pull up, there are some toughs sort of...
many toughs in this movie.
Kind of quasi-menacing the guy, except they're just loitering.
It's a gang of 5 in this liquor store. They're not doing anything, but the clerk is like, can I help you guys?
They're stealing everything in the store.
Yeah, he's just eating shit right in front of him.
Sure.
But there is one dude walking around with a big bamboo stick, except for some reason...
It's a flute.
Well, I was going to say, except for some reason, in the context of the movie, he has it hollowed out and he's playing it like a flute.
Yeah. It's a fucking tree trunk.
I mean, it's...
It's probably maybe 4 inches diameter
it's
bamboo.
Huge. And he's swinging it around this place, and the clerk is like, guy.
But yeah, just this long, like 3 or 4 foot long stick that he's just like doodling around this place, and it's like, okay. And then they pull in for the beer, and of course, like, he goes up to pay. Now, he's got a big wad of money from having gotten paid for their various and assorted jobs.
All in one night.
But like
whatever.
the 6-pack of beer in 1985 is $3.
$3.
He clearly has 3 individual dollars, but
does.
instead he's like, I'm going to big shot this. And he pulls out 100 and makes the guy give him back $97 and change.
Which the guy does.
He
Weird
does.
flex, but okay.
Yeah. But, and of course, all these guys are like, hey, he's got money.
Ooh, money.
And so
I
they
like
like
money.
follow him outside and then like try to steal his money. And he and Tony have to kick their ass, basically. I mean, it's completely inconsequential excuse
just-
for a fight scene.
Yes.
Except for the fact that, like, I wouldn't even mention it if the guy wasn't, like, playing a 3 or 4 foot long flute.
Yes, which becomes a weapon in the
Yeah,
fight scene.
of course it
He's,
does.
he's playing it very beautifully.
Yeah. Well, it was actually a magical leprechaun flute that was passed down from his great grandfather, who
Oh,
was Irish.
okay. Yeah.
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 Anyway,
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I
So
wonder where
okay,
to go
so
with that.
they go to the breakdancing club and watch some breakdancing. Nothing comes from that. They go back to the gang hangout where they're having a birthday
Gang out.
party for one of the 3 nondescript dudes, and they're like, "Hey!" They sing a song that sounds like "Happy Birthday," but
Oh,
it's
it's
not.
It is. The tune is Happy Birthday.
Yes.
yeah, they had to pay that license fee.
Yeah, because they totally did that.
But I don't know
don't
what they're
think they
saying.
did.
They're not
No,
saying "Happy
it's-
Birthday."
Eggshells. It's really bad accents.
Okay.
Let's just say that.
All right, fine.
I don't even want to
yeah,
like mimic
yeah.
what they're saying
Okay,
yeah,
because
Then that's fine.
It could be just poor
it-
Asian accents.
It,
yeah.
it is.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But it
what
sounds
is.
like Happy Birthday.
Birch.
Yeah,
It sounds like
birthday.
Birch.
Birthday.
Yeah.
Day.
But
Yeah, okay.
yes, they
So-
are singing the happy birthday
Right.
song to this guy.
And they're like, "Hey, blow out the candles."
Yeah.
And he starts getting emotional, and he turns around, and it's just like, "Oh God, what? What do
By
we
the way, they don't say blow out the candles. They just say blow the
blow
candles.
the candles?" Yes, they do.
I mean-
and that makes him emotional.
Yeah, right.
I had to blow candles for food every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he
Yeah.
he tells a story about being homeless, so,
He had to live on the street with these hobos,
right.
and he never had a birthday cake before, and he's just so happy. So they're like, "Okay, blow
I
the
never-
candles,
I-
jackass."
I did not know I had a birthday.
Right. It's the same scene. It's
Yeah,
the same
basically.
like weird bonding moment with these guys, but like these other 3 guys, we never know who they are ever.
No, they give him no personality.
So except for that, this one guy was homeless. That's all we get to know about him. So okay, there's that.
Yep.
So
This is where the actual plot kicks in, and finally.
yeah,
Like,
so it's just like they're driving somewhere, and it's just like, "Hey, we have a job offer. We have to go to get this job. Could be the end of all jobs."
well, I think they're just walking and they ADR that in because it was like, it will make no sense because suddenly they're arriving in the back of a limo and this guy gets out. He's like, right this way.
Yeah.
And they do this whole thing, escort him into the house, like with them, like just one guy, like, oh yeah, you're gonna be perfect for this job.
Yep.
And then it's like, this guy's got like the shitty like. I mean, it's almost like Alfred Molina in Boogie Nights. Molina in Boogie Nights. It's kind of like his place. It's a lot of rock and wood, 80s, pimp thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like he's sitting in this like actual like fucking mahogany chair. Like it is just a.
Oh yeah,
It is
it's like a
carved
tree
tree
trunk
trunk, yeah.
slash stump that is carved out in shellac.
Yeah, and he's just
And
sitting
covered
in
in
it,
animal
and,
furs.
and he's like
Yes.
not turned towards them at all, and he's just like, I'm going to have a very important party with very important people, and they can't be disturbed, and safety is paramount, and blah blah blah. And then like
He's
never,
like, "Let me make this perfectly clear. There can be no violence.
yeah,
No violence at my party." And they're like,
All right.
okay,
"Yeah." So
Well, they still say something. He's like, I will pay you in advance. Go and clean yourselves up and
yeah,
get
you,
some
you
proper
need to,
clothes.
you need to look good for this. And so he hands his henchman a wad of cash, who takes it over to Young, and Young just
just
doesn't do
ignores him,
anything.
yeah.
And then Tony's like, "Yeah, all right," takes
Yeah.
the money, and they're like,
and they stop at like, oh, we'll take care of everything, and they leave. And then
yeah.
it's like it's clothes buying montage.
"It's Pretty Woman" montage of just like they're just
But it's only like
it's one store.
it's only like 45 seconds, and they
Yeah.
only put on one outfit.
But they're all just like the one thing we have not properly conveyed about these 5 dudes when they're together is they're all just like, "Yeah, all right, this is gonna be fun.
Oh,
Woo,
yeah.
yeah,
It's-
we're gonna have a
it's-
great
Well,
time. Yeah."
Harlow did say that they spend a lot of time grab assing. And
well,
that's
especially in the
basically what it
toga
is.
thing. Oh my god, they were trying to de-toga each other.
Yeah.
They were like, "Haha, what
Like-
you got under your toga?" Woo! Like,
cup checking
man, like seriously, dude, like.
Yeah.
Were we that like blatantly homosexual in the 80s? Like, I mean, it is weird. Like,
It's strange, but like it's so in the suit store, they're all just like, wow, you look taller, and oh my God, look at you in a suit, and oh my God, look at you in a suit, and
really
you're wearing a
gassing.
suit.
Oh, it's like there was one point like we jokingly said it, but there is another scene like I think it's like Young comes home to drunk mom again, and then he has like this angry longing moment out like where he looks out a window. I think it even happens before this because he's just walking along and he finds Tony and Lily sitting eating ice cream, and they're just doing the hee and like we're having so much fun eating ice cream, and oop, I got some ice cream on you. And then like he just like he sees them from afar, like watches, and then like the camera kind of goes blurry, and he does the Incredible Hulk sad walking away thing.
Does, yeah.
And it's like we were like, wait, is Young like in love with Tony? Because that's like that the way you shot this, it makes you feel like he's just like, oh, I thought we were lovers.
Yeah.
You know.
No,
Yes.
he's just sad that he's losing his friend to love.
Right.
Right. I don't know.
There was also a scene where they went to the docks down at Redondo Beach and looked at the boats, and Young was like, I miss the old days when I was young.
He took him to his favorite spot.
Yeah.
I'm saying there was a
Yeah, I
courtship.
know.
There was a
Yeah.
courtship thing
Yeah.
going on here.
And they have a conversation where it's like, I wish life was simple like it was back in my homeland. And then there's another scene later that's only 12 seconds long that we don't understand what it is until the end of the movie, where he has gone into an establishment, comes out, and has a Korean passport. But we never know what that is until like the last frame of the movie. But at one point, he has gone into an establishment and he comes out with a Korean passport. So he has decided he's going to get out and he's going to go home.
He's going to go back to Korea.
Right.
While he's still a young man.
Yes.
And I don't mean that because his name's Young. I mean it's because
He's so very young. Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, time for the party.
Yeah.
Time for the very, very important people party.
Yes.
Which is
It's
lots of Rolls Royces pulling up and rich fucks getting out and being escorted in, and they valet the cars away and blah, blah, blah. And they've finished parking all the cars, and they come in, and they're just like standing back, and they look into the other room, and it's just people vaguely smelling cocaine. It's just cocaine everywhere, and people are just kind of the most casual cocaine party I've ever seen. Like, people are just like, oh, smell this one. This smells interesting.
You've been to
Yeah.
a lot of cocaine parties, Joe?
I've seen my share.
Okay.
But so it is the most casual cocaine party, but the most blatant cocaine. Like, there's no one in this room who's not doing cocaine.
Well,
they're all doing
weren't.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Tony and Young weren't.
right. But I mean, like the party goers
Oh,
were
okay.
all doing cocaine, and they look at each other and go, "Party's going well. All right, yeah, rock on. This is great." So then Young is like, "I'm gonna go upstairs."
To use the bathroom.
Right. So he goes upstairs, and instead of going to the bathroom, he decides to peek into the master bedroom. And inside is the most blatant, dumbest drug deal you've ever seen, where there are 3 people seated at a table. 2 people on either side have stacks of cash,
Huge stacks of cash.
while the main dude, the dude who hired them for the party, is...
which is weird because we never saw his face directly
No.
before. But now it's like.
But now it's just like, yeah, here's this guy.
This guy.
And he's just sitting there with a scale and a couple of Ziploc bags, and he's just scooping cocaine out of, like, I don't know, a coffee tin or something into these little Ziploc bags, and gives each of them a fifth of a regular Ziploc bag of cocaine.
Like it's
It's
maybe
like
an
a-
ounce or two. Like it's not much.
No. It is not much, especially when these people push.
Well, it's like a 2-quart
It's
Ziploc
like a,
bag
it's
that's
like
about a
freezer
quarter
bag,
full.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like a freezer bag that's a quarter full at
Yeah.
most. And they just both push $100,000 in cash
right.
to him, and they're just like, this is going to...
Maybe that's
this-
a sample.
I don't
know.
But anyway, he's just like, transaction concluded. Thank
Yeah,
you, guys.
Puts it in the briefcase like
Yeah.
you do.
And so Young goes back downstairs to Tony, and he's like, it's a drug deal. Like, no fucking shit. Do you not... You just commented on the pile of cocaine party that's happening in front of you.
Oh no, he didn't go back downstairs. I think he
No,
just
he did. He went back down to Tony and said,
Did he?
it's a drug deal.
Oh.
And Tony's like, Young, no. And he's like, I got to go back upstairs. And so
Yeah.
he goes back upstairs after everyone's filed out, just toting their Ziploc bag, a quarter Ziploc bag of cocaine out like, haha, cocaine, yay.
Yeah.
So
Maybe it's super pure cocaine,
Maybe.
and they're going to cut that
Yeah.
into thousands of kilos.
That's
apiece.
probably-
I was trying to figure out a way because like the way they're holding it out in front of him is like I was gonna say like they're like latchkey kids but like kilo. I mean there's like
Latch kilo kids.
Yeah, I got my bag of cocaine. Mom said come straight home when I got the cocaine.
don't lose it.
Yeah,
You're only getting one. Don't lose
I mean
it.
just the way they're literally holding it like kids hold their lunch. Like this
Yes.
is very important. Don't
Yeah.
squash my sandwich.
Yes.
It's more like, hold it higher. We need to see the cocaine.
Yeah.
So all that's left is the main dude and his girlfriend. And the main dude locks up the briefcase, sets it down, and he's like, time for loving, baby. And she's like, hell yeah, let's go have sex.
And they giggle, tickle, fight their way into the bathroom like everybody else.
Yes.
Well, just like every time people are moving in this movie. Goosey.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they get in the tub to have the sex.
Yeah.
Young comes in and is just like, well, my briefcase now.
Puts his jacket over
Puts his jacket over it like he's hiding something, which just makes him look like he's carrying a briefcase under a jacket.
Right. And then the next 5 minutes of movie are these two things intercut. One is the getaway with Young and crew when they're like, all right, we need to leave. We're fine. Everything's fine here. Let's go. But every 10 seconds, they cut back to 10 seconds of the drug dealer and his lady fucking in a tub.
Yes. Even to the point where I think Young and crew make it all the way home.
They do, I think.
Oh, they were like driving through the desert or some shit. It's like they were way in the car, like completely away.
And these two are still fucking. And I was like, are they just going to cut to this for the rest of the movie?
I wouldn't have been surprised had it happened.
It goes on longer than it should. Like, the other characters have clearly moved on in time. It is 6 hours later where these other characters are, and these two are still in the hot tub.
Yeah. But it's like they have the money, but like it's almost like Young doesn't tell anyone except Tony knows he went up there to get it, but it's like everyone else is unaware of the money for the rest of the movie.
It seems like it, yes.
Yeah, because skip a little bit ahead. Basically, he's taken it out of the briefcase and stuffed it like in that weird little compartment, which that's like an armrest / passageway to the trunk in the Cadillac.
Right.
So it's like stuffed in there.
Yeah.
And like no one seems to know about it except for him. But like this is his escape plan. Is like I'm getting back to Korea with this.
Yes, but he doesn't communicate this to anybody.
No.
So immediately, like once there's been at least 4 cuts to them fucking in the hot tub longer than there should have been, it then cuts to that dude hours later, who is like he's basically called in
time machine in that hot tub.
He has managed to call in 2 hitmen, Ted Hitmans.
Well, one was Ted and one was Theodore.
Right. So there's a guy from New York, just white dude, and there's the Yakuza guy.
You have to present him in the proper order because it's like the samurai, Yakuza, whatever guy is like, because we don't even know what's happening. It's just like we see him, and then like Yakuza guy is just standing there and like does this whole like pull out the katana and like and then like do the like you know, like, and then he like bows to him and stuff like that, and then it's just like
there's 2 quotes
on
IMDb from this movie,
and
they are both from this scene.
All right,
and they are both from these 2 hitmen,
right?
So he goes, "Let me introduce myself. I'm from Osaka. My name is Mr. Ken. With this, I have killed 2 people. I'm the best hitman from Japan."
He said 2? I thought it was like 12.
Well, it will be my pleasure to kill for you. And then the other guy steps up, and he's like this clean-cut sort of white dude in a sport coat.
Yeah.
It's just kind of big. He goes, "I don't need this bullshit introduction. My name is Kruger from New York. You know my reputation. Just tell me who you want, and he'll be mine."
Yeah. And so it seems like they're competing for the job, but they end up teamed up together.
Oh yeah, and like, but even after the insult, they're actually like working together. Like it's not even like whoever brings them Young first.
It's like no, we're tag teaming
this.
Right.
But so the main cocaine guy, he says basically, I don't care about the money. I just want to teach them a lesson. Like, what in the fuck? Like, what kind of dumb cocaine businessman are you? You sold them 4 ounces of cocaine, and you made $150 million from it, and you don't care?
I mean, I the only thing I will say is, like, that's classic bad guy of, like, I care about more about my reputation because that's inconsequential to all this money I have over here. Even though nothing about his place or anything is, like, I am living the the Scarface lifestyle here.
I mean, he could have bought lots more mahogany stuff with all that cash that he just lost.
You could just like buy the redwood forest and just like make
They're in California. They could just
like, cut down that tree and make me a coffee table.
I'm sure someone has the hole that they cut out of that one tree. You could probably just buy that.
It's like just make the Game of Thrones chair.
Make the
throne, if you will.
Yeah.
That there's a game
the
about.
Mahogany throne.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I don't know how it gets from that scene to the warehouse.
It really doesn't matter. It's just like we see them like they're just totally working together, and I don't understand what kind of like martial arts since they had, but they ended up at Chan's little dojo place with his gang.
Correct.
And they basically just like, I love it. They walk in the door, they're all like, "Who the fuck are these guys?" And they all kind of like walk up like, "Can we help you?" And it's just like, it's immediately like ass kick, ass kick, ass kick, ass kick, and they just like take down like 4 dudes.
Yeah.
And then they're like, they walk up, like the New York dude just walks over to the punching bag and is like, yeah, and like actually I think ends up like kicking the bag off the hanger
He
at
does.
the end.
He does.
And then it's like, then they're like, "We just want to know where Young is," and it's like, well, you could have led with that or the punching bag thing instead of like taking out 4 people, but they're just like, they just have this back and forth. They're like, "Tell me where Young is." He's like, and Chan's like, "Young's mine," and they're like, "Well, we could like murder the rest of you like we did those 4 guys." He's like, "Fine, I'll tell you where he is. My reward
Okay.
will be that justice is done. Whoever does it, I don't care."
Okay. This scene doesn't make any sense because
Nope.
the motivation of this scene in any other movie is to get Chan
To team up
on
with them.
Young's side.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
These dudes come in, establish that they are dominant, and this gang is like, "Oh shit, we've got to. He's one of us. We have to go help him because these dudes mean business and fuck
Right.
them."
Well, we're all Korean dudes
Right.
or whatever, and these are
These are
a white dude and a
yeah.
Japanese guy.
This aggression will not stand.
Right.
I mean, isn't that like basically the plot of Fist of Fury, aka the Chinese Connection, as
Sure.
it was released here? Because I mean, it was like they were having like a rival school thing, and it was like, "Oh fuck these guys!"
Yeah.
You know, like we got to team up.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're thinking, okay, well, this is going to lead to Chan and his gang come at the end, save the day, and everyone's friends and friends forever, and the song will
Yeah.
play as it should. Like, of course it will.
Right. Dragon Sound shows up.
Yeah. So even though they go there to find out where Young is, okay, so they go to the hangout where the dudes are, and they kidnap the 3 guys. And Young finds a note saying, "Give us back our money. Come to the
three
three
fish.
dragon or whatever."
Three fish.
Yeah.
3
And-
fish smoked fishery.
Yeah. Bring the money. Get your friends back. So meanwhile, they've got these dudes tied to like the rafters, like way up off the ground, to where they can just all be punched right in the dick.
They just go to town on these guys' nards.
And they just punch these dudes' nards into oblivion.
Oh,
They're just
he
like
roundhouse kicks the one dude in
yes,
the nuts.
yes,
Nards.
Nards, sorry.
We started on Nards thing. We're doing
Well, you kick in the dick and you punch in the nards.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So man, they beat the fuck out of these dudes' nards.
It's only going to get funnier the more you say nards.
Yeah. To where they are essentially removed from the film from the rest of the movie because they have had their nards so obliterated that they can no longer function as human beings.
Well, I mean, their family tree's fucked.
Oh, absolutely.
That bloodline.
All their
is-
bloodlines
The
are
bloodline
dead.
is just dribbling down
Dribbling,
their legs.
yes, the bloodline is leaking all over the floor.
I mean, if I had had my nards pummeled for half a day, I wouldn't be doing any helping.
No.
No.
But yeah, so every time you see them throughout the rest of the film, they're just swinging, hanging, going, "Ugh."
I mean, occasionally my badge, which is on one of those retractable things, occasionally that thing will swing back
Slap
and
you in the nuts?
slap me in the nuts. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done for the rest
It's
of
like,
the day.
I gotta go home.
Yeah.
My nards have been hit.
My nards are in shards.
Yeah. I got a card to the nards.
Yeah, you card to the nards and you're in shards.
God damn it. So, okay.
Bards will sing about that.
Yes, bards will sing about cards to the nards. So, Young shows up to this warehouse, this multi-tiered warehouse.
Yeah, it's like now it's a game of death. Cheap ass game
It's
of death.
the cheapest ass game of death you've ever fucking
yes.
seen. Because, like, so he goes in, and there's some dudes, and it's just, they're just like, you're not going past us, and he's like, yeah, I am, and so he fucks them all up. He goes up a level, and he just whips around this whole floor, like, what is this empty floor? What is this? And then like 5 dudes pop out from behind pillars and form up and start just West Side Storying.
Oh yeah, yeah. They straight up they are the Jets and the Sharks. Like we're here.
Yeah.
We're gonna fuck you up. It's like Fosse, Madonna.
Yeah. So they
Wrong story.
they also get fucked up, one by one. Then he goes up one level, and it's like an art gallery.
Yeah, this fish place is the weirdest thing ever.
The 3rd floor is an art gallery, And so this is where the samurai guy is.
Yep.
And he's just like...
Oh, also, he has taken the sai from the back of his
He
car.
did,
One
yeah.
sai.
Yes.
He only
One,
he did not
yeah.
take the second
Right.
sai.
Because at the beginning, we see him with an empty briefcase, and he goes into the back to start putting money into it, and then he looks longingly at the money, and then he's like, no, I'm keeping this fucking money, and puts it back in the car, and just takes the sai with him, and tucks it into the back of his shirt.
Oh, before we... I think it's the floor before the Fosse gang where he
First floor.
gets his first murder on. Because, like, I think
Yes.
the first floor, like, dude came at him with a whip and a pitchfork. Or,
Yes.
like, two dudes. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Two dudes,
He
as
beat them-
BJ said, looked like Alex Jones was in this movie twice.
Right. He
It was bearded and non-bearded.
Yeah,
Alex
because
Jones.
Yeah.
like they're sitting around drinking beer, and he shows up, and one dude just Chuck Norris pours beer all over his head, and he's just like, "Come on, and that guy immediately gets dispatched.
yeah. Whip guy got taken care of pretty quick, but then pitchfork guy, he took the pitchfork from pitchfork guy,
threatened
beat him
him.
up with it.
Yeah, well, hit him with the non-pointy end from it.
Right.
Then did the pointy
Threatened
into the
him.
neck, and he's like, all right, well, I'm not going to murder you. And then that guy's
So
like,
he starts to
"Ah."
walk away, and then guy comes back after him, and he just gets pitchforked right in the
He
gut.
gets murdered with a pitchfork.
I mean, technically, he murdered himself. He ran into the pitchfork.
He did, yeah.
37 times.
But Young is now a murderer. Like he can't go back to school.
Well, he wanted to leave the country anyway, so hopefully the
Yeah.
extradition rules in Korea are
yeah.
favorable.
But anyway, so he gets
yeah,
up to
he's
the
at
art
the art
gallery,
gallery.
floor, and Samurai Guy's there, and they have a samurai sword versus sci
Well, he
fight.
did a Jackson Pollock on the floor before.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
in one color only, though.
Right.
Yeah, you don't need a black light for that one. So he fights that guy. Eventually, like there's a lot of just like our weapons have tied together and we are battling with strength to
yeah,
see who will.
he's got the sword and he's battling it with the side. It's
Yeah.
like, and then he's like pushing it towards the guy's neck.
And he gets sliced in the chest or in the stomach. So he's got the wound. But eventually he kills the samurai guy. So now he's killed two people.
Yep.
So he gets up to the final level, which is where the guy from New York is.
Oh, the final level.
Yeah, he gets up there, which is where the three guys with their shattered nards are still just hanging from ropes, just going, "Oh God, please." So
And it's just the dude from New York by himself. He's like, I got this.
yeah, and at some point he yells at Young something, and Young shrieks out in like an ET voice, saying something like, "I'll live." He's like, "Do you want to live or die?" He's like, "I'll live."
Yeah, there's some more choice dialogue bits here that
Yeah.
are really dumb, but
The New York guy somehow gets like a cat of nine tails.
He
From
got
somewhere.
He got the whip from the guy on the first floor. It just teleported up there, and he smacks him in the face with it.
It's more like a cat of nine tails.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, he gets.
the first one was like a bullwhip. This is like, he's
Yeah.
got a
But yeah, it hits him in the face, and now he's got a face wound. And then he tries to hit him with it again, and he just grabs it and is like, no. And then they have kind of a slow motion fight back and forth for a while.
It's not a terrible fight.
It's not. No, it's not.
No,
I mean,
it-
they both have skills. They just aren't connecting, except a couple times where it looks like they absolutely connect.
again, I mean, they are very much copying Bruce Lee movies at this point.
Yeah.
Because like this was sort of like that infamous like we had to do it in slow motion because they were so fast. Like they're going for that, even though these guys aren't that level.
Yeah.
You know, but like they're slowing it down for that effect of like if we don't put it in slow motion, you're never going to see what they're doing because it's that good.
Yeah.
But eventually, like they fight for a while. I'm not like discounting the fact that they fight, but he basically ends the fight by kicking the dude in the kneecap, which they have like a pretty good something in the dude's leg that looks like it dislodges.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, oh God, my knee.
There are speaking of that, there are a few points in this movie where they do some kind of gruesome shit, like a guy gets hit in the arm with a stick,
Oh, right.
which is a compound fracture,
Yeah.
or it chops his arm off.
Yet the half
I
shirt
don't know.
guy gets like
Yeah.
a wrist cut off.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. So yeah, there was some dismemberment before the murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which they just went about their way, like, totally didn't commit a felony, la la la.
I was just disarming the guy.
Yeah.
So anyway, like he finally defeats the guy from New York, and cuts his friends down, who are all just like, "Oh God, my balls!" and and he gets them all down to his car, and at some point, he had gone to see his mother in the club where she either worked or drank, and she's like, "How dare you!" and has security come and kick him out, and then hours later, she has now decided to go see what he wants. So. Like she goes home looking for him.
Well, then she goes to like his dojo and sees the note because it leads her to here.
Yeah, but this is when like somehow Chan ends up with her.
Right. Chan and as I think we said is like sort of like the amalgamation gang.
Yeah.
Because it's a couple of members from all the gangs they defeated over the course of this movie.
Basically, yeah.
Just
It's
sort
like
of show
20
up,
dudes at the end.
and then like she's just like getting in their face, like, how dare you? Like, you leave my son alone. Look at him, he's hurt. And then like they just take her and push her, and she. I mean,
They push her into a brick wall.
well, she's like
They push her into warp speed.
she's like 12 feet away. She continues like. I'm just kidding.
An object in motion stays in
Yeah,
motion.
I was gonna say it's like her own inertia. It's just like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm going to continue running into the brick wall.
She runs face first into the brick
and
wall.
then just there's a comical like,
Yeah.
falls over backwards, and
Yeah.
then he's like, how dare you hit my mother? And then this just becomes like a fight, like
Well-
but like mostly just Chan versus Young.
Yeah,
at this point.
right before this, Tony gets a phone call because Tony's at home doing his homework.
Right.
I don't know what the phone call is, but the phone call is just basically, you got to get over there because they're going to murder Young. So he's on his way there. So, yeah, now it's Chan versus Young, and like one white guy in the gang is like, haha, I got a stick and I'm going to beat you with it. Haha, punch, haha, punch. And then he takes the other side out of the back of the car and stabs this white guy with it.
and it's
just,
a long stab.
Yeah.
It's a
He murders this
It's a
man.
protracted sigh.
Yes. So he's killed this man.
Mm-hmm.
It is at this point that Young or Chan pulls out a knife and just stabs Young in the gut and just starts slicing his gut open.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, Jesus.
Yeah,
This has
surprising
escalated
gore,
quickly.
yeah.
This is still about $5 and Tony not joining his gang.
Right.
And maybe thinking about boning his sister, I guess.
Yeah. But Young didn't. Young had nothing
Oh,
to
that's
do
true,
with
yeah,
this.
But then, and so, like, I was like, okay, well, he's gonna die, and then Tony is gonna have to like come in and kick everybody's ass.
Mm-hmm.
But Young's not done yet. He
No.
just like
He
has a nice hero shot, rips his shirt apart,
He Hulk Hogan's his shirt off.
pulls it down. We don't say those words
Oh, sorry.
anymore. Rips his shirt apart like a wrestler.
Yes.
Pulls it down around his waist and then ties his guts in with his shirt as like,
He's like, come on.
it's on, motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, and he holds his own for a while until he gets stabbed with a sai in the back of the head.
Well, fighting takes guts,
Yeah. Well, no, he gets stabbed
so you
like
got to hold him in.
yeah.
he gets stabbed like 5 more times with the knife, and then so it's obvious one of those like trick knives that's had a
Right.
little paint job.
Yes.
So like when you quote unquote stab somebody, the
Yeah.
blade slides into the hilt.
Yeah.
And you can see Chan. Sorry, I'm having a hard time remembering these guys' names. You can see Chan at one point stab him in the back,
Right.
and then his hand slides like halfway across his back,
Yeah.
and then he pulls the knife out and then stabs him again.
Yeah. And this
but
is
he
like
gets
a
4
weird, like, the movie goes into super duper weird dimension 3D slow motion.
Yeah,
And
he
it's
gets
like,
he gets a
what?
bunch of stabbies in the back.
Yeah. So, like, and this is like right when Tony gets there. And
Yes.
Tony's like, what? And he sees like Young is basically dead, and he looks and sees that the mom is for some reason basically dead, even though all she did was run into a
Well,
wall.
like he shakes her a little bit, and she's like, "Oh, what? Oh, I was asleep in it all.
Yeah. So
I was
he's
so drunk I didn't feel a thing."
Yeah, right. So he's just like, oh no, come on, I gotta kill you now, Chan. So Chan stabs Tony like 6 times in the leg.
Yeah, he cuts like his Achilles once, and then stabs him a bunch in the
There's
leg
actually like
after
a
that
little
during the
blood
fight.
fountain out of his
Yeah,
leg.
at one point there's just this fountain of blood shooting out of his leg.
How
Yeah,
does he actually? Does he murder Chan? He does murder Chan.
He
right?
does, yeah.
But
He
how?
murders Chan. I
How?
don't know.
I think that would be important. That we might someone
Yeah.
here might remember.
It's
it.
literally
Does he
the
cut his
most
head
recent
off?
event. No, it's nothing. He just he beats him over the head with the stick.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He just cracks him over the
Yeah.
head so hard.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because he had the little.
Yeah.
He had blood on his forehead and
Yeah.
had that prosthesis.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So he just cracks him over the head with this stick. He goes down, and then Tony just kind of limps over.
And all of his gang fucks off. Like the gang never did anything. The guys that showed up with it were just like, "Well, we're
Yeah.
here to watch."
Never mind the fact that the 3 dudes with shattered nards are still in the back of the car, haven't moved. Like they have been, they are out for the count. They just, no nards can't help you. So Tony crawls over to Young and is like, "Oh no, my friend," and reaches over for his mom, manages to wake her up to where she's like, "Oh no, my son, brother, whoever this character is, Young." And they go over to him, and at some point, out of his pocket has flown his newly acquired passport.
And he's trying to tell him, like, backseat, car, money.
Yeah. And he just bleh. And, like, the sun is coming up, and the camera kind of slowly pulls back.
And, well, it goes over to the passport first, and you see it kind of fluttering in the breeze.
Yeah. And then it just, it pulls out, and the credits roll. Like, what the fuck ending is this?
Forget it, Jake. It's Koreans in Chinatown. Yeah.
Like, what? No. This is, what? Never go to L.A. You will die.
No.
Well, you
will
can
die.
go to
I mean,
LA,
that's-
just don't try to do street fighting.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't get involved with high school street toughs
Or bounties.
from Koreatown.
Like, don't do anything with
High
bounties
school
either.
street toughs.
Yes, you heard me.
L.A. high school street toughs.
Yes. That's the thing in LA. It's rough in some parts.
Yeah. Anyway, this movie's over.
Yeah, it is.
It's fucking nuts.
No, it's
Including
nards.
the
It's nards.
No, it's
Yeah.
nards. It's fucking nards.
Yeah, it's absolutely nards.
Shattered nards, shattered nards.
I don't know, man. This fucking movie.
Yeah.
It broke
It's-
me. I'm
yeah.
fucking broken.
It's
It's a thing.
Chuck, I need to tell you something about LA Street Fighters.
Yeah.
Please don't be mad at LA Street Fighters.
Oh.
honestly, there's no way I could be mad about this. There's a lot of it that's real bad, and a lot of stuff that would typically make me angry at a movie, like all of the dark scenes that you can't see a fucking thing in. And
Yeah.
All right, you have the spreadsheets and stuff pulled up. I don't normally do this, but I would like to know what we rated Miami Connection. Because I feel like we were coming in a little bit after the zeitgeist had already started to hit,
Yeah, we
and
had.
I feel like we might have been negative on it because we were like, we've seen so many better things. Why is this the one everyone's touting?
We weren't. Okay, one, we weren't high on it for that reason. Two, we had just watched Max Magician and The Legend of the Rings. So we were like, fuck that. Max Magician is so much better than Miami Connection. Miami Connection got 1s and 2s. You gave it a 1.
wow.
The rest of us gave it 2s. We were like, I get it. I see why this is a thing. But, like, and it did. It had long scenes of nothing where it's just like they're in the computer lab doing nothing. You know, it was for people who went to that college to reminisce about, oh, yeah, I walked
Yeah.
in that computer lab. I've been there. It was Mackey's movie, basically. He was like, I've been to that
Well,
campus.
I literally walked the part where they had one of their quad fights.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I didn't go to that school, but I had to go to that school
Right.
and use their
that was the
library
one that was
supplies.
shot in
It's UCF.
Orlando.
Yeah,
Yeah.
UCF.
Yeah. Yeah. Which was another weird thing, is that there was really no Miami Connection. It was all in Orlando.
I also like that. Like
This one at least was shot in LA.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I like that there's quotes about YK Kim where he's like, I'd like to thank the University of Florida. It's like, dude, you don't even know what fucking school you're at.
Yep.
University of Florida is a totally different school.
Yep.
It's not in Orlando. It's not Miami. It's especially far from Miami.
Yeah. So anyway, you gave it a 1. The rest of
Okay.
us gave it 2s.
I wanted to refer back because I have a feeling I'm going to rate this higher.
Yeah.
I still think Miami Connection is like probably slightly better made and a little bit more cohesive, even if it's just as stupid.
Well, he
And
learned.
He learned a little bit. But
Yeah, it's Miami Connection is definitely better.
yeah, I mean, I just feel like it's most of it was shot during the day, which helps automatically when you're doing this guerrilla, no sound filmmaking thing.
right.
You know, so you don't have to worry about trying to light night scenes or
Yeah.
not light night scenes.
Right.
So I'm giving that caveat. I don't think this is better than Miami Connection. It's probably just about to get a better rating given time and everything else.
Sure.
Perspective.
Right.
Okay, I think I'm gonna give this 3 jocks.
Okay.
This is a very, very badly made movie.
It absolutely
So you
is.
have to understand that. Like
Yep.
anything positive I'm saying is similar to the BMFcast extra that we just recorded, which will be on the main feed sometime in the future with The Crow 4,
Right.
Wicked Prayer.
Wicked.
But like, this is almost as badly made as that. Maybe,
This is worse.
This is probably worse made. Yeah,
Yes.
actually.
Yes.
It doesn't have all that 2000s whoosh
Yes.
bullshit
There's no
stuff.
swooshy wooshy
But
bullshit.
like, this movie is nuts. It's
Nards.
nards. I'm sorry, it's nards. There are funny lines that mean nothing. There's entire side plots a la The Room that mean nothing.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason for it to be in school with a bunch of 40-year-olds. There's no reason for a 40-year-old dude to have a mom who's like maybe 2 years older than him.
Right.
There's a whole lot of dumb in this.
Yep.
But there's some good fight scenes, and some of that dumb is really fun.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's young, it's dumb, and it's full of fun.
God damn it.
Yeah. Box quote.
You just can't get away from the nards.
I'm also giving it 3 jocks. I giggled all the way through this thing because it's so bad. Yes, make no mistake, this is not a well-made motion picture. It is barely a motion picture. It is like you had fight scenes and dudes who could fight, and then you strung it together with absolute total bullshit. Like, they used this same shot of these 2 guys in a car pulling up to a street corner somewhere.
Pulling up to the alley where
someone lives
Young
off
lives,
this alley.
yeah.
And they used that shot, I don't know, 12 times.
Because there was a different alley when they were pulling up to the hangout.
Yes. Yeah.
But they used both of those shots
Yeah.
multiple times each.
Nothing in this movie makes sense. It takes place in one of those universes that is not reality. I just loved that when the samurai dude showed up, one of you said out loud, no, not another gang. It's too late for that. No.
Well,
not another gang.
well, yeah, because they introduced like 50 gangs. And there were like 20 minutes left in the movie, and I was like, I cannot. If there's another gang in this movie, I'm done.
Yeah, just no, absolutely not. So this constant of just like, these guys are just kind of fun-loving guys, and then every once in a while they do something completely reprehensible, and it's like,
well, they're fun-loving criminals.
They weren't really, though. Like, they saved the dude from his schoolyard beatdown by having an L.A. street fight, and then everything's fine until they start menacing girls who he thinks are hookers, and then it's like everything's fine again, and then he's like, I'm going to steal the cocaine money. And it's like, no, dude, no.
Well, okay, stealing the cocaine money is not necessarily morally reprehensible.
No.
He does say a line, something like, it was dirty money.
Yeah,
but it's like,
he said to
He said to the New York guy towards the end.
Ruger.
Yeah, Ruger.
Rygar.
Rutger Hauer.
Yeah, he says to Rygar, he's like, it was dirty money anyway. I was going to use it to do good.
Yeah.
And
the guy's like, be that as it may.
yes, he says, be that as it may.
You will still die now.
You will still die on this day.
Your nards will also be shattered by me.
Your nards will be mine.
So anyway, 3 jocks.
Okay, I'll give it 3 jocks too. I was gonna give it 2, but honestly, we had a lot of fun. Like, this is one of those, and I guess Miami Connection is too. And I think we would have rated Miami Connection better had we had more time, or had we beat the zeitgeist. But be that as it may.
We just all came to that consensus of like, it's fine. However, all these other movies that nobody, like, we had already seen Order of the Black Eagle, and we're like, where the fuck is, give that a goddamn, discover this, put it on Blu-ray. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's so much better, and nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, like the hype had worn us out, I guess, about that time.
Perfect example of why we try not to do the things that everyone's talking about.
Right.
Yeah, I think that one hit us right at the time. Where I was just like, guys, shut up.
I guess we have to do this because it's a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it.
And also, like, we're not always looking out for what everybody else is looking out for. We have somewhat different tastes, but this movie fulfills a lot of our criteria. Like, they think that they're making... You can tell that they think they're making something that's real.
Like, well, this guy went through his whole life apparently delusional. I don't know what I don't know what his, like, movies of the last few years, or when he stopped making movies, if they eventually became, cohesive. Yeah, I mean, but certainly not
making them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think he had 10 years before this he was still making shit.
He made a lot of movies.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can tell that they're all committed. They're all committed to making this movie. And that was the case for Miami Connection too, but there's so much doofy stuff in this, and like I said, we had a ton of fun with it in the studio. You will also have a ton of fun watching this movie wherever you can find it. I don't know if it's on DVD or
it's on a couple of digital services in standard def. There's a high def print of it on YouTube that maybe you can get to before it gets pulled.
Right.
It's not readily available, but
I think it aired on MGM HD, so it may air on MGM HD again. So I mean, I feel like we keep talking about MGM HD or keep seeing things that have
have the library of shit we like.
When have we not talked about MGM being the best for movies that we like to do?
But I mean, I'm just saying that we're not shilling for it or anything, but just keep an eye. Like, honestly, keep an eye out on MGM HD. Just set your DVR to record it all the time, I guess.
We ain't getting
Because
paid by
they-
MGM because MGM's not getting any money
Right.
unless it's James Bond.
Right.
Well, they did just say that they're going to start mining the back catalog of MGM for
Right.
some
Oh yeah, the
reboots.
Russo brothers are going to make.
Yeah.
They're going to do that again, where they've already done that once.
Yeah,
War Games, Red Dawn, all those things. They're just going to do it again.
right. Just with all the MGM stuff.
Right.
But
No, that was they.
oh, were those MGM
Yeah.
as well? Okay. Well, so
Roadhouse. I mean, like all these things
Roadhouse.
that got dumb sequels 20 years after the fact. MGM already went through this process once.
oh yeah, I remember finding Roadhouse 2 in a Walmart or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Three Jocks, it's pretty good. I don't know. Let's take a break.
Yeah.
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 Oh man, his next movie stars Eric Estrada.
Bill, you should start at the beginning. I made a really good joke like that today, and everybody looked at me like I was wearing a jacket made of turds. It was great.
We should just keep going backwards through the Richard Park because I kind of want to see
Kill the Ninja. Okay.
just for that title. I mean, I want to say eventually he gets good, but I don't know if we're going to find out because
Well, Kill the Ninja has literally no information.
That's true.
It has two actors that don't even have character names listed.
like they made Chinatown 2. Who made Chinatown 1?
Ooh.
Was that like Roman
the Jack Nicholson
Polanski?
movie.
Yeah.
Chinatown 2. Finally. It's called The Two Jakes.
Fucking two Jakes.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, you got two Jakes over
Ah,
here.
That's a nice reference there.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Whoa!
In L.A., the son of a vegetable vendor avoids joining an all-Korean gang called the Tigers and instead falls in love with Lily. Whoa, hold on.
Wait, so it's a sequel
It's the same fucking movie. It's the same goddamn movie. We gotta watch it.
Okay. Find me a Chinatown 2.
You got it.
Wait, what is this?
Chinatown 2, directed by Woo-Sang Park. The plot description is literally the same thing we just watched.
It's got to be the same movie.
In L.A., the son of a vegetable vendor avoids joining an all-Korean gang called the Tigers and instead falls in love with Lily, the sister of the leader of the all-Chinese gang called the Lions. No way. No.
I don't even know what to say.
It's a South Korean movie, so maybe he remade it for South Korea. Let me check our source and see if that movie exists there.
By source, you mean MGM HD?
Kinda.
Man, I love games that I don't even have to play.
Your anime titty girl game?
Yeah.
Is it just playing itself?
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool. What's she doing?
They're just doing stuff. They're just fighting.
I understand.
So far, so far nothing like gross happens in this game.
Oh. Yeah, wait.
It'll happen. So did we read? It's not a titty clicker. It's a little combat game.
You're a titty clicker.
So we didn't read Evan's email, did we?
I don't know. I'll look at it in a second.
Brawl in Cell Block 99?
No, we didn't read that.
Okay. Or Chases. We unstar them after we read them, right?
Yeah, he's supposed to.
Thank you, by the way, for taking care of that Australia thing.
Sure.
If you're out there, Don, thanks for your order. Don in Australia.
G'day. They love when you say that.
G'day, Bobby. Sheila, bloke.
Bruce.
G'day, Bruce. G'day, Bruce.
You want to sing verses for us? Song, hey? Hey, manual cat with real fish, that food very rarely stable. I was a boozy beggar who thank you under the table. David Hume could out
That's a good sketch, too. Let's see here. So, yeah, I think we'll read a couple emails. Just to get a couple out of the backlog and to maybe to shut Evan up.
All right.
Yeah, Evan, shut the fuck up. So, Chinatown 2 does not seem to exist.
That's because it is also called Ninja Turf.
Oh.
I don't know if it's also called Ninja Turf, but that's also what this movie is called.
Oh. But his following film, American Chinatown, we do have, and it stars Robert Z'Dar.
What?
Okay.
What?
When we're done with L. April, I don't know. We might need to put a little more distance between.
We got a little something.
Richard Park.
We got a little something for May lined up.
Oh, do we?
Yeah,
We have a May theme?
we do,
Oh.
and a June theme.
Oh, man.
I know,
That's too many
but
themes.
July's Freedom Month. We can do whatever we want. So maybe American Chinatown would fit right in during America Month.
All right. Well, let's do this thing.
Anyway, I got one movie.
I got one. Mine's pretty new.
Mine's new.
Ish.
Yeah, came out at
Okay.
the end of 2018.
Okay. You ready? You gonna sniff?
Oh, mine is
I'm done sniffing.
super new.
Oh, like in the theater new?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I was trying to look at emails to figure out what we needed to.
All right.
Go on.
You ready? All right, welcome back.
Hey, BMFcast.
BMFcast.
It's second half time.
All
Yeah,
right.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All
Let's
right.
all right, let's do it. Yeah, you look tall.
So I think BJ and I both saw theater movies,
Okay.
We did.
but I think mine came out this week, so I'll go first. And I already talked about, I think, what you're going to talk
This
about.
week, like,
On the BMFcast.
Yeah. We watched ourselves a quote about it.
okay, we'll talk about your movie.
All right. I won't be. I don't have a whole lot to say. I went and saw Shazam because
Oh,
I see
Shazam.
superhero movies.
Yes, I believe that came out 1 week before my movie.
Yeah.
All right.
After,
Yes.
thus making it newer.
1 week before my movie in the reverse timeline. That's what I
Right,
meant.
okay,
I was on
sure.
reverse timeline.
Oh,
sorry.
you're doing
Right.
the reverse Flash thing. It's
Yeah.
different.
That makes
DC thing.
sense.
No, it's just a weird Chuck Tingleverse thing.
Okay. Yeah, Shazam. I only really realized this by reading just before Shazam and the fact that like they dropped that Joker trailer and stuff like that. DC is essentially given up on a shared universe.
Yes.
Like they're just like, fuck it, we're just making movies. If they connect, they connect. If not, we're not setting out to set. We're not making an MCU clone.
I think
anymore.
that's smart.
It's smart-ish. I mean,
It's unfortunate.
it's unfortunate because they have at least 2 or 3 people on their payroll that they could put in charge to helm the whole thing, like Kevin Feige does over on Marvel side.
Yes.
But that's beside the point. I don't really want to talk about that.
All right.
But Shazam, the latest in the not necessarily connected DCEU. I don't know, whatever their damn thumb
It's a
thing is.
DC movie.
Yeah, it's a DC movie. So at this point, I've gone into all DC movies with like not much hope. Like I'm just like expectations super low. Wonder Woman was Wonder Woman, and it's mostly really good. I probably enjoyed Aquaman way more than I thought I would because my expectations were basically 0 on that. So this one, like, I was like, all right, maybe this might be okay. So my expectations went up just a little bit by people going like, Shazam's really good. Shazam's okay. It's fine. I mean, I guess if you have a great connection to that character, there might be more for you to get. But I feel like with Aquaman and Wonder Woman and stuff, it's like I have seen them in things. I know what their deal is. Let's see a whole movie about it. Shazam was kind of like, I have some awareness of who he is, and I understand it's a little kid that turns into a full grown man, and that's about the end of my knowledge. And maybe someday he's supposed to fight Black Adam, who's going to be played by The Rock.
Correct.
The the only continued hope of that is Dwayne Johnson is a producer on this movie. So I was like, well, maybe that's still actually happening. We don't know.
He's been on Instagram saying
It is happening.
this is happening.
Okay, fine. Again, it's fine. I feel like even if they're not intentionally doing it, they are still sort of copying Marvel movies. Like every DC movie I've seen, it's like, well, that was clearly like, let's do, like, that was successful for Marvel, so let's do this. And I just feel like they need to get to their own voice, and I still feel like it hasn't happened, because this was very much, this played a lot like Spider-Man Homecoming, you know, where it's like, hey, it's the wacky friend who makes jokes and stuff, and I've got to deal with that, and I can't let this person know that I've got this, but this person knows, and then eventually everyone will know, and blah, 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 and things happen.
Okay.
Even to the point that, like, it's so much like Spider-Man Homecoming that it's like his little sidekick kid guy is like...
Was he a chunky Asian boy?
No, he's the guy in the trailer, the guy with the crutches, you know, but it's like he's the guy who knows everything about superheroes despite this other guy who knows nothing about superheroes becoming one, so he's got to be the, like, you need a catchphrase, you need this name, and I'll come up with all these dumb names and stuff like that before we settle on something. So it's like, it works mostly. I'm not, like, all this is going to sound like I think it's bad. It's not bad. It's just, it's watchable, and it's just, if this wasn't a DC character, this would be, sadly, it would be, like, on the same level, like, forgettability, I think, if it would, like, My Super Ex-Girlfriend or whatever the fuck Will Smith's superhero movie that wasn't a licensed thing was. Hancock.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like,
Hancock's
I mean, it's a family movie. You know, it's not like Hancock got dirty, and I think my Super Ex-Girlfriend did too. I mean, but you know, like I said, if it wasn't Captain Marvel or Shazam or whatever we want to call him, then I think this would just be like one of those movies where, like, that was cute, and in 2 weeks I will never think of this ever again. Like Hancock, like I had to struggle to think of what the name of it was,
right?
You know, so I get it. Like if you have some connection to him, you're going to get more out of it. For me, it was just like that was acceptable, and I chuckled once or twice at a thing, and I always like seeing Mark Strong be a bad guy. That's always fun. I think the thing, like, ultimately, and this is going to sound so super nitpicky, but from the moment they announced they were making this movie, and it felt like they were like, we're making a movie called Shazam because we got to set up Black Adam eventually, because we already announced that like 3 years ago that we're going to get The Rock to do this, and then it just felt like we've got to shit this movie out so that it's in theaters the same time as Marvel's Captain Marvel, just to fuck with them in some weird way, because we've had this beef with that character name for forever.
Right.
But they were late.
I know. Well, they were a little late, but I'm saying, like,
they were $1 billion late.
Well, yeah. I mean, but again, like I said, I feel like there's some petty person over at DC, like, just trying to beat Marvel, and that's not how you beat anybody. You've got to do your own thing and hope it turns out better.
But also, if I may interject, 99% of people out there have no fucking idea what that's Captain Marvel. I know. That's what I'm saying. This is so petty that it's stupid. Like, I mean, I'm just pointing that out, that, like, it felt like they rushed this movie so that it would be in theaters the same time Marvel's Captain Marvel was out as well.
Right.
Down to the fact that I didn't catch this in the trailers because it's not shown particularly well or for very long. Shazam, the titular Shazam, not Zachary Levi,
right?
Captain Marvel Shazam, the guy he gets his powers from is Jimon Hansu.
Oh,
who is in fucking Captain Marvel?
Right. Yes.
Like, I was just like, when that happened, and I was like, when I realized who it was, I was just like, not to him. I was just like, to the general royal. I was like, fuck you. I was just like if this didn't feel petty enough, it's like you literally went and cast somebody who's in the other movie,
right?
And I was just like, not to him. Like I said, I held no ill will to him because it's a paycheck for him. But it's like, I was just like, fuck you. Somebody did that on purpose. And I just it just kind of soured me from the get go. Where, like, again, like I said, I've tried not to be one of those people that, like, one leap of logic or whatever, I'm just like, fuck everything about this movie. But like, I was already on that, like, this just feels like they shat this movie out to be out in time.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, I don't know, just when I saw him, and I was like, oh, god damn it. But there's a couple funny jokes, and there's lots of reference to other DC shit throughout. Because, like, the guy's just constantly, like, the superhero obsessed kid is like, he literally, like, has a bullet that was fired at Superman, and, you know, like, in a certificate of authenticity little baggie and stuff, and he's got a replica Batarang from the Zack Snyder verse style Batman, and like all of this stuff, and it's just like, and he's constantly wearing like Aquaman and Wonder Woman T-shirts and stuff like that. So it's like there are parts of it that are cute in a sort of meta way. It's just it's not handled particularly deftly. It just feels kind of rushed. And I gotta say, it's another one of the people who grew up making movies under the James Wan umbrella of horror movies. He did Lights Out in one of the damn Annabelle movies or whatever. Compared to the dude that made Upgrade, no. Like Upgrade's amazing, and this is like, this is fine. I didn't hate it. I mean, I'd still like if you're remotely interested, it's worth watching, but it's better than Suicide Squad, and I'm one of the people who's like Squad's not that bad. But it's better than that. Like I just still think like for me, I know this is gonna sound weird because I know like everyone went crazy over Wonder Woman, but Wonder Woman got so terribly derivative of Captain America by the end that it was like for me, it would go Aquaman, Wonder Woman, then this. In the Man of Steel era DC movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
BJ, do you mind if I talk about my movie because it directly ties into his movie?
No.
Okay, great. So I watched Aquaman.
Okay.
I enjoyed Aquaman. I didn't love Aquaman. So here's my thing. I really liked Justice League Aquaman. I was like, okay, he's basically Thor, which is fine.
Water Thor.
Yeah, that's basically what he is. He's Water Thor, and he's literally fish out of water, dealing with things that aren't quite clear to him. And he's having a good time doing it. So I enjoyed that. And the first few bits of Aquaman are that. Like when the whole submarine scene, that's what I want from Aquaman. When it dives into the whole Atlantis stuff, I still liked it, but it went in a direction I wasn't necessarily super stoked about. I realized it had to go that direction because it's an origin story and you got to get all that shit out. It just becomes silly. And I mean, not in a way where I was just like, this is silly and it sucks. It's just silly.
Oh, absolutely. But that's the thing is like I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it too. It just it didn't hit me as much as like that fight on that submarine. I was like, oh my God. Like if this is the opening scene, holy shit, this is going to be great. And then the rest of it was different good instead of that. I like all the CG stuff, like the imagination and the sheer electrical power it took to create 2/3 of that movie is impressive as shit. It just really is. Like fucking dragon seahorses and crazy krakens and underwater kaiju crab monsters and shit. I mean, it's like every time a new thing would show up, you're like, what the fuck is this? Now we're in the land of the prawns. Like what? And the guy from Shazam is in this too. Is one of the things. So I mean, I was still on board with Aquaman by the end of it. It wasn't hitting me as much as all the Aquaman stuff in Justice League and that opening scene. And it just felt like the Black Manta stuff. It seemed to be weaving in and out of a movie it had no business being in.
Sure.
It was like now it's time for this, but we've got to deal with all this other shit, and that character doesn't seem to get its due. It's like this character should be bigger, and it's like you have this origin story for him, and then it just becomes kind of this. When he gets the suit, you're like, okay, they explain why his suit kind of looks silly, but man, it doesn't look right in reality. I understand why it looks like that because it's trying to be true to the comic, but in the real world, the suit looks goofy.
Sure.
And like when he shows up 2/3 of the way into the movie to do his big action scene, it's like, no, we don't have time for you. We've got all this other crazy shit going on. Yeah. That being said, there are some goofy ass gags in that movie. The whole like when they're about to do the gladiator, which is basically it's almost the Thor Ragnarok, Thor versus Hulk gladiatorial battle scene. The octopus in there playing drums is just that's the best dumbest gag. It's just an octopus just banging on drums.
So this may be an unpopular opinion, but I feel like how DC could differentiate itself from Marvel and why I think 90% of the time the Arrowverse stuff works is because they lean into this is fucking goofy.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing about like I'm not saying Marvel is 100% serious, like down to earth. Like, not that there's not a billion things you could point to in Marvel that are absolutely goofy throughout their history of comics, but DC has historically just been goofier if you try to look at it from a real world perspective.
Right.
Like, just historically. I mean, you have a giant sentient gorilla that can telepathically talk to people.
Yeah.
You have a giant, I'm naming Flash villains at this point. You have a giant talking shark, like there's a cheetah woman, there's all kinds of stupid shit. There's Swamp Thing, for God's fucking sake. It's like, DC is full of goofy ass shit.
Yeah. And
I feel like the way you make it work is you lean into it.
Yes.
And you just say, like, that's why the grimdark stuff just absolutely doesn't work. That's why, I mean, Batman, it can work because he's done billion noir style Dark Knight Returns stuff. It's, you can make Batman dark and it doesn't take away from it totally. But the second they tried to make Superman the man who gets his power from the sun, the majority of it take place at night. It was like, the fuck are you doing?
Right.
Like, it's like he's the light to Batman's dark, and like you've got to understand this.
Yeah.
And they just need to lean into, like, I'm not saying I want him to make the movies, and obviously it'd be on a whole different scale, but like, Greg Berlanti, who runs the Arrowverse stuff, should be running the DC Universe stuff. If not, Bruce Timm, who ran all the amazing animated things, is probably still on your payroll. Let him be put the two of them together and let them bounce ideas off, because it's like, I feel like between them they could make a cohesive universe that works. But you've got to lean into the goofy. Like, you got to say, like, Black Manta looks weird in real life, but here he is with his giant dome helmet and laser eyes and everything. And Aquaman talks to fucking fish. He should be riding around in dolphins with a, like that thing, or the flying fish, like the famous one where he's like water skiing the flying fish. Like, just fucking do that shit. Like, lean the fuck into it.
I will say, for like, as much as Justice League tried to make it sound stupid that he talks to fish, this movie makes it fucking cool.
Oh yeah.
Like, the whole, like, just the scene of him in the aquarium as a little kid is like, all right, that's a cool power to have. You've instantly showed me why Aquaman's power is cool. Which then comes into play later. I fucking love that Dolph is in this, and I love that he's in this as much as he's in this.
The cast for this is kind of nuts when you look at it.
I think maybe the only weak link is Patrick Wilson. I don't think he's evil enough to be as evil as his character is supposed to be, because most of the time his character just ends up standing somewhere going, rah! And it's like, oh, come on.
They probably could have cast that better. But.
I mean, he's smart evil, but the movie wants him to be like brute evil, and that doesn't work.
Sure.
He's supposed to be like conniving evil, and it just doesn't come across that way.
Yeah, I'm not, like I said, this is all on a weird scale, because, like, I really liked Aquaman, but, like, I will admit it, that it's probably, if you were ranking him against Marvel movies, it would definitely be in the bottom third.
Oh,
like, that's the weird thing, is like, it's just like, you take the worst Marvel movies, it's still probably not as good as those.
Yeah, I mean, like, even some of the lamer Marvel movies still have, like, a dramatic weight to them where you're like, I'm concerned about this world, whereas in Aquaman, I was just like, whatever. Yeah. I don't care. Yeah.
And it's dumb, because it feels like they're leaning back into the grim stuff with the Joker movie. I don't know.
I think
I have all kinds of mixed reactions to that Joker trailer and the fact that it exists, but I don't want to get into it.
It's fine as a self-contained thing. I mean, like, one of your assumptions was dead on about something in that movie, so I mean, I see what they're trying to do. But yeah, I mean, like I said, if they're doing one-off standalone things, that's fine.
Sure.
Building a universe around that version of the Joker would never ever fly. Just not going to happen.
Oh yeah.
I can handle Joaquin Phoenix's weirdness for one film. I can't handle it for an ongoing thing. Like, it's his brand of weirdness is like, I can stand a movie with him once every 2 years.
I don't understand, again, why they feel they have to reinvent the Joker. Like, why they don't
again.
Well, no, I mean, like, not that. It's just like, I mean, Heath Ledger's Joker was a paradigm shift. It was a different take on it all, and it kind of, quote unquote, blew us all away. From Jack Nicholson's almost classic Cesar Romero style Joker. Yeah. I mean, yeah, he was.
Even Nicholson's was.
It was dark. It was. I mean,
yeah,
it was darker.
way different than.
I'm saying,
Romero.
like, it was still the, like, haha jokey, like,
Yeah.
I'm just a sociopath and I don't realize, what I'm doing is wrong, or whatever thing it is. But then it's like, then you get into the Jared Leto thing, and it's like, okay, well, I mean, it's a version. I mean, I guess, but, like, why they're afraid to do the classic, like, why does he have to look like, like he just escaped from Arkham? Like, why can't he be all like dapper clown face guy?
Yeah.
Like just normal Joker. Like that's
They
what I'm saying.
should. Somebody said this, I think, on Twitter, or maybe I saw it on Reddit. But they should just have him. Should have just had him go full Cesar Romero, like makeup over the mustache.
Yeah. I think that was in Discord.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I don't understand why they don't just like lean back into the original Joker style.
Because everybody's still so busy jerking themselves off over Heath Ledger Joker.
But I mean, unfortunately, you're not getting that again. I mean,
right? But
I mean, stop trying to redo it. Like.
But everybody's.
I think they just maybe someone was like, we've never done a full blown origin story for the Joker.
That's. I just.
And
I understand.
That's inherently wrong.
I understand.
In and of itself, he's just there.
Yeah.
But a studio person was like, hey.
So I think Heath Ledger's Joker, like his acting in that was really, really, really good.
Sure.
But I don't like that character. Like, I don't like that as the Joker. That I don't think should have been the Joker. It should have just put a different villain. The Joker is not like that for me. But that's my own personal Batman, preference.
Oh, personal Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially since I grew up, with Cesar Romero Joker and him being like just a fucking goofball.
I think when they shifted, they were like, we need to do one-off stories, but we can't just let's do a one-off story about the gorilla. They have to do one-off stories connected to something bigger.
What about a one-off story about Calendar Man?
I mean, that's the thing is, like, do you know how deep the DC Rogues Gallery is and how much more?
There's a billion stupid things they could do.
That's what I'm saying. But they wanted to do something a one-off, but still have it be connected to something huge that someone off the street will go, yeah, I know what that is.
How about the Penguin?
Yeah.
We haven't had the Penguin in how long?
Since 92.
We haven't ever had the Penguin.
Shut up. Batman Returns is awesome.
Batman
Returns is awesome.
A, go to hell. Batman Returns is awesome. B, Batman 66 movie has a fucking penguin.
Okay, fine. Yes,
Burgess Meredith.
Burgess Meredith penguin. Fine. I was talking about movies.
Numpty.
And
that was a movie.
It was a movie.
But that movie makes zero sense without the TV show before it.
You make zero sense.
Boom.
The penguin in that is pretty self-explanatory. He's a guy with gadgets on his umbrella. He's got a penguin-shaped submarine. He's got penguin friends. He's the Penguin. Easy.
He's got a fancy cigarette holder.
You don't need all the, Cobblepot backstory and shit. You see a guy dressed like a penguin. He's called the Penguin. You know he's the Penguin.
Yeah.
Well, then why make a movie?
Well, I mean, I'm saying you don't need a lot of, you don't need setup in the Batman 66, the movie, to go, oh, okay, that dude's gimmick is he's the Penguin. You can explore all of that in another movie like we did in Batman Returns, which was pretty good. Some would say great. But you could do a one-off with the Penguin. Danny DeVito is still available.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito is probably even more lunatic penguin-y these days.
Yeah. He busted out the top hat for Dumbo.
I'll tell you a character that would make a good standalone movie.
Your mother.
Solomon Grundy.
He was born on a Monday.
Comic fans know the shit out of that.
I'm just saying, like, that
Regular folks,
that would be an interesting, like, full-blown origin story movie thing.
I don't know anything about Solomon Grundy, but
He's
I do know.
basically a big old zombie.
Okay.
I know him from the video game, from Arkham Asylum.
Like zombie, or just like messed up dude?
Basically, came back from the dead through chemicals and shit, but yeah.
Okay.
What about
Thank you for explaining to me more about Solomon Grundy than anybody else has in 37 years. In one sentence.
Mm-hmm.
You're amazing. What about a what?
Catwoman movie?
Never heard of her.
Come on. It would be great.
if they made an actual Catwoman movie, sure.
I know she's not Catwoman.
I don't think Michelle Pfeiffer's going to redo her character.
Probably.
Halle Berry is out.
Anne Hathaway's available.
Dina Meyer would make a good Catwoman.
She's a bit aged.
She's
now.
old.
And also she was Oracle. She was on Birds of Prey.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe she played Oracle.
She's
AKA
in
Barbara
amazing
Gordon.
shape, and she looks great. I think she'd make a wonderful.
Okay, well, I was going deep down the DC knowledge.
Yeah.
I know she was on that short-lived television show.
But Jaimon Hansu's been in 87 movies this year, so
That's true. Well, 2 of them named Captain Marvel.
Whenever
Right.
you need a weird alien man, you hire him. Either some
good.
medieval dragon fantasy or space movie. And
Also, like, if you want to do something cool, make an Azrael movie. He's Batman who kills. You want Batman who kills? There you go, Zack Snyder. It's called fucking Azrael.
what about a Robin movie?
A fucking Robin movie would be rad.
But
I'd
a
watch,
Man-Bat
I would watch
movie.
the
We
shit.
could call it Dick.
I would watch the shit out of a Nightwing movie if they said that was coming out in 2 days. I'd be like, give me the fucking tickets right now.
Okay.
Especially if it starts off with Disco Nightwing. Which, if you don't know what Disco Nightwing is,
I do not.
get thee to Google.
Hey, that sounds
Look
great.
at Bat or Nightwing first appearance. It's fucking glorious.
Can I just do Disco Nightwing?
Oh, you could probably do Disco Nightwing. His first appearance outfit is amazing.
Oh boy!
Wow.
Yeah. That's a lot of color, sir.
Holy shit. What's up with that?
Yeah,
Ooh,
You're welcome.
wee. What's up with that?
that's big Dick Grayson right there.
Yeah. Swinging Dick Grayson. Let me tell you.
Yeah,
Big dick energy.
You going to collect this action figure?
I kind of want it. Yes, actually. Anyway, that's enough DC talk.
Okay.
Let's talk about something.
He
else
has a
we do.
movie.
Yeah.
I do. I don't have a good segue.
Well, listen to us talk about these movies.
Listen, yeah. So I saw Us.
Right, us.
I saw Us in the theater. I saw Us in probably the smallest theater in town. It's the second room at Sunray, which is one of our
right.
local indie theaters, and that seats maybe 30 people.
Yeah.
It's very small, which I thought was going to be a good. So I'll talk about these two things separately: the experience and the movie itself. I thought it was going to be a good experience because it was sold out, and I thought, okay, great, it's going to be packed with people who want to see this movie because nobody, like, I at least figured nobody wanted to see this like Jordan Peele horror movie thing that's getting, buzz in a lot of the circles that we listen to.
Right.
And it's the indie theater, but there were just a bunch of drunk jabronis in this fucking theater for some reason. And I don't know why you would go see something that's billed at least as a serious horror movie and just be a drunk asshole there. Like I don't mind if people have drinks in theaters. I think that's fine.
Oh, especially if you're going to see like the new Child's Play. Well, that's not going to be fucking anything to take serious. But like,
Yeah.
if you're like trying to go to something that's trying to be a modern Hitchcockian horror style thing with style,
Right.
It's like no.
And in a 30-person theater, you can hear people talking very easily. Like every time somebody talked in that theater, I heard everything they were saying, no matter how quiet they were trying to be. And we had I think we had some weed vapors in the audience, and these girls in front of us were they would babble and then giggle for a while. It was one of the worst theater going experiences I've had recently, and I really expected better out of our little indie theater. So that was distracting to set the stage. Despite all that, I really liked that movie. I liked Us a lot, and I'm not a horror guy. I only saw it because that's what my girlfriend and her best friend and her husband, they wanted to go see it, and I was like, fine, I'll go. I just want to hang out with you guys, and we'll see a movie and then talk about it.
It's like, geez, Us, take the wheel.
Yeah. So, but I ended up really, really, really liking it. Lupita Nyong'o is fantastic, and she proves it time and time again, and especially in this. I don't know how much of the basic premise there is to this that I can talk about without being spoilery.
Any of it.
I mean,
Yeah, it's really tough.
it's tough to say because a lot the basic premise was given away in the trailers, but a lot of people won't even watch trailers now. So it's like,
Right.
yeah. I don't know, man. I danced around the plot like last week or so. I don't remember when I talked about it.
So difficult to talk about it without spoiling it. I will say this: Lupita Nyong'o is fantastic. Honestly, everybody in this movie turns in a really good performance. There's absolutely no slacking. Tim Heidecker is really good and really funny. Elizabeth Moss is really good and really funny, because there are enough actual funny moments in this movie to break up sort of the tension, which is a huge relief to me because I was on edge for...
Oh, yeah, when the shit actually starts going down, that movie becomes real tense for about 20 minutes.
Yeah,
there's no jokes to be had there.
No. I don't know the guy's name, but the guy who plays Lupita Nyong'o's husband
M'Baku.
is the same guy
same
guy who played M'Baku.
I should know his name, but I don't.
In Black Panther, he's really good, and his comedic timing is really, really good as well.
Winston Duke.
Thank you very much. The movie asks you to take a couple, just take a couple things on faith. Like, there's some things that happen in that movie that some people seem to want explanation for, and if you just accept what the movie gives you, that these things are happening. Yes, there may be these things are happening. There is explanation for them, but you're not going to get it because it's not germane to the plot. It does not matter whatsoever to the story that's unfolding in front of you. Like, we had this whole discussion on it about Discord a couple days ago, and we have a spoiler chat for this movie. And, like, every time somebody had something that they claimed was a plot hole, I was like, I was like, no, it's not a plot hole. It's just something that they didn't explain to you explicitly. And there are a lot of things there are a few other things that were mentioned as plot holes that the movie alludes to 20 minutes before it happens. So if you're paying attention and also letting this movie be a horror movie where things are not exactly as they are in the real world, let the movie take some liberties, go with it, suspend your disbelief because you're in a fucking movie theater watching a movie, you're not watching a documentary, and if you take all those things into account, which are things that a typical movie-going person would, I think, it's great. It's friggin' wonderful. The only thing that really had me scratching my head a little bit was the ending. There's something that happens almost towards the very end, and maybe it was just distraction because of confusion from cackling girls in front of me, but it didn't, like, I couldn't figure out the ending of this movie until, like, a day later it finally clicked, and I went, oh, yeah, okay, that's why that happened, and that's why that happened, and this and that. But that's just because I'm a dumbass, so there's no good reason for that to be a bad thing. But it's a good movie. It's really good. You should see it, and I think that carries a little bit more weight coming from a non-horror dude. So
I already sort of talked about this, but in giving some time to think about it, it's funny that you mentioned the bad movie-going experience because the movie that I kind of want to mirror to this one as far as, like, the way the plot plays out somewhat, and that's, I don't mean this to be spoilery because it's not, it doesn't mean the same stuff or anything like that. It's just Cabin in the Woods. I also had a horrible movie going experience with that. I think the first time, and maybe the second time. I know I saw it at least twice in theater, and I don't remember which time it was. But Cabin in the Woods, like, by the end of that movie, is just like, we had some cards. By the end, they were all flipped up. You were looking at everything. Everything is explained at least in terms of like what you need to know.
Right.
You know, like it's just by the end of it, it's flipped over all its cards. This is more like 7-card stud. You're only getting certain cards flipped over, but I think what some people are complaining about is the fact that they flip any cards over instead of just making it a total mystery is where your brain tries to reconcile what the other cards are. And it's like only by flipping over some cards did they make you go like, well, what's this mean? What, you know, like it gets you questioning everything instead of like keeping it all close to the vest. And I hate to use all these card analogies, but I'm just saying like
It was in the cards.
yeah, I'm saying like Cabin in the Woods by the end, it's like here's everything. Like if you don't understand this, like you're just not thinking very well, you know, like because it just gives it to you. And this one is like we're going to give you some of the cards, and that's going to make you guess about the other cards. And I think that breaks some people's suspension of disbelief because it's easier to suspend disbelief if you are given nothing. You're just like, Jason exists, deal with it, you know. Freddy Krueger, he got burned, and now he's in your dreams. Deal with it. Like as soon as they start explaining horror movies in the latter day sequels, that's usually when they fall apart. And this one was like, we're going to give you what should be in maybe Us 2 or 3, and it's going to be in the first one. You know, that's why so many first part horror movies are like. I'm not knocking Us. I'm just saying I feel like this is where a lot of people's complaints may enter in. Is like we're turning over some of the cards, but you know, it's just enough to make you question and go like, well, what and how and what, you know. So
I guess, I mean, I can make the logical leaps that the movie asks me to.
Sure.
Very easily. Like, there's some stuff that I can't go into it without
yeah, I know.
without getting into it, but I find everything that I find all the leaps that the movie asks me to take not to be leaps at all. It's just
I know. I think people bring in
along.
logistics and other issues into it because it's partially explained. Is all.
Yeah, and I feel like that's maybe way overthinking it. That's like
Sure.
I've gone back and like I'm trying to write my thesis on Us, which is a really good horror movie, but it's not like the best film in the world. I think it's diving too deep for the sake of diving too deep and
To make another
prying open oysters looking for pearls.
Yeah. To make another slight analogy, and this isn't quite
Is it going
fair.
to be another card analogy?
No, this is another movie director, film path thing. Don't get me wrong. I understand that, it doesn't exactly translate because there's another film in the can for somebody else, but I feel like Us might be like Tarantino in a way. Don't get me wrong. I'm not discounting that Reservoir Dogs and other stuff that he did exists. I know he made Reservoir Dogs, then Pulp Fiction, but I'm saying most people saw Pulp Fiction first and then went back and went, oh, he made another movie and saw Reservoir Dogs. I'm not one of them, but I feel like Us is going to be the Jackie Brown of Jordan Peele's thing. Like, I feel like right now we're like, well, that's not Get Out. Get the fuck out. So like,
Right.
And I feel like we might in time come back to appreciate it. Like
Jackie Brown does not get its just
right.
reward.
That's what I mean. I mean, everyone when Jackie Brown came out was like, that's not Pulp Fiction. Oh, that's adapted. Fuck this is bullshit. And all kinds of reasons for people to hate that. Like race swapping, whatever. Like I like the book and that's not how she is. Whatever. People had all kinds of dumb reasons to hate Jackie Brown because it's not Pulp Fiction. I feel like Us, given some distance and some time and some hype dying down, could possibly be the Jackie Brown later. Like we might come to appreciate it more later. That's all I'll say.
I feel like people are really appreciating it right now.
Some, yeah. some people
Just a
really
few.
don't like it. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I'm just saying, like, yeah. People appreciate Jackie. Some people appreciate Jackie Brown right out the gate. I'm just saying. I feel like we will come back and go like, yeah, actually, unfairly judging this against the previous movie.
I think also Jordan Peele is in an unfortunate position right now to where he's red hot, and that automatically makes some people go, yeah, well, fuck you. I know. Yeah.
Whatever
that thing is in human nature where someone is like firing on all cylinders makes people go, yeah, but he sucks.
You also can't discount shadow racism. I'm sorry.
I was just about to say that. Like, successful black director.
Yeah.
Well,
because it felt like when that first episode of Twilight Zone hit, everyone was like, okay, pal, enough of your political horror bullshit. And it's like, what?
I'm sorry. Horror is like
that is
horror
the most
is
horror.
always political,
and the Twilight Zone is especially political.
Right.
Holy shit! That show is nothing but allegory.
All right, Aaron Sorkin, enough of this political talking stuff.
Right.
Like, wait, that's what he does.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, that's people were. Yeah, when the newsroom was out, people were like, "I don't like your witty dialogue and your political takes." It's like, well, what the fuck
Why are you watching an Aaron
the
Sorkin
newsroom?
Yeah. Whatever. Like I said, that's just another analogy, and I'm done with analogies for us.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do we want to do an email or two?
Would love to.
All right.
Oh yeah.
I think the
Whispercast.
I think this is the next email on the block. If not, Mackie will yell at me later. But
Okay.
If I've heard it, I'll stop you.
Okay. Well, this is. I'm afraid I might be not going back far enough.
Okay.
But I'm gonna roll on since Evan asked politely if we were gonna read emails. I will read Evan's email. Evan says, "Dragged across my morals, aka sympathy for our devils. Hey guys, I just watched S. Craig Zahler's follow-up to Brawl in Cell Block 99, Dragged Across Concrete. Though I do highly suggest you watch this, there's some afterthoughts and caveats I must share. I'll try to keep this brief. By the way, the film is 2 hours and 40 minutes, but never boring. Set some time. The film has dredged up both acclaim and controversies. If you research, some have even called it racist shit and condemned Zahler as an alt-right sadist." Where is this going? Considering Zahler's previous work in life, he's Jewish, owns a death metal band, and writes for Fangoria, I think critics might be too extreme on their assumptions. But hell, maybe I'm being too optimistic. If he's guilty of anything, his daring and dark method might model up the message for his films. I leave you intelligent gents to give some enlightening input. This B-noir gourmet grinder is a hoot for sure, but can I be wrong? I'm a proud SJW, and I know when I see racist shit abounding. Is Zahler expounding on the blurred humanity of real-world monsters, or is he giving them too much empathy? Watch and see. Great for second half. Crash and burn, Evan, who did not send it from a particular device.
Damn it, Evan.
Evan, you made me read some words there, man.
I guess I'm gonna have to watch Brawl in Cell Block 99 as well, which was on my list at one point in time, and I just
Yeah, I
never
meant
got
to get to it. Never got to it.
I
I know people like it.
I'm not familiar with either of those movies, or S. Craig Zahler. Is he a racist?
No, but I think is the recent one, Dragged Across Concrete, is rubbing some people the wrong way because it's Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn, and they're cops who get caught doing some police brutality shit.
Oh.
And then they're like, well, let's do some real brutality shit if we're going down anyway. Some people are kind of taking it as a celebration of cops doing what they need to do to get the job done, that kind of thing. It's polarizing, to say the least.
Reminds me I need to watch Bone Tomahawk as well.
Yeah,
Fuck,
yeah.
I haven't seen any of this guy's movies.
Yeah.
So I got to get on this.
Yeah. I've always steered away from Bone Tomahawk because everyone was like, that movie's fucking gross. And I'm like, yeah, I would like it, but I don't really... Like realistic gore, especially these days, has really put me off. And I know that's weird coming from a guy who likes horror movies, but just the weird, super duper realistic torture type stuff, it's like, I don't want to see any of that. Because effects have gotten to the point where it's like, no, you're really doing that to a person. Stop that.
Right.
Oh, good. It's got Patrick Wilson in it, too. Bone Tomahawk, that is.
Oh.
Yeah. Cool. You're just saying we need more Patrick Wilson for the reasons.
Evan has amended his email to say that it's from his Sony, Droid, Nintendo. I don't know.
Okay.
Thanks, Evan.
Nice try, Evan. Good effort. Anyway, yeah. Maybe we should watch some of that guy's movies. Independently, not for the show.
Are any of his movies under 2 hours?
No.
No, they're not.
No.
That is a long, long time.
He takes his time.
Sure does. 2 hours 12, 2 hours 12, and 2 hours 39.
Yeah. So, second half movies, one and all.
Yeah.
Maybe. What's next, BJ?
Next is a double recommendation from Chase Like the Landmass. He says, hey, BMF boys, just a quick note to recommend both of these random Filipino exploitation movies, sight unseen, based on the linked trailers and purchase links. Death Force, a.k.a. Vengeance is Mine, and Vampire Hookers. I wouldn't be surprised if you already own this DVD and had them on your schedule. He sends us a YouTube link and says, Crash and burn, Chase Like Landmass Island, sent from my cracked screen 5-year-old Android phone.
Yeah.
Filipino
November? Philippine November?
Philippine November, yeah.
I don't know about that. I think at least one of those has some drastic keyword violations.
Some keywords. Would that be vampire hookers?
I believe so. If it's the same one I'm thinking of, I'll they'll go on a list and I'll do my research.
Look into it. Yeah.
So
everything you guys send goes on to Chuck's list, which is probably 1,000 movies long now, and will carry us well into season 5 of the BMFcast.
So ridiculous.
You finally had to break it up from our spreadsheet because it was like taking too long. Because we used to have like our ratings and other stuff all that. We had to break it up because like the thing was just getting so huge it took forever to open up every time.
Yeah,
which is wild for a fucking spreadsheet.
Yep.
Oof.
Yeah, not enough power in the Google tubes to keep it going. Got another one?
Yeah, but it's a long one, so we're gonna save it for Mackie to read because he reads a lot faster than I do.
Yeah.
And better. Mackie reads his emails better. I don't know how he does those reads like he does.
Yeah.
Except practice.
Practice, yeah. So, if someone wanted to get in touch with us so that Mackie could read their stuff, how would they do that?
They should probably email us. Let's get out of here, show.
Just go to BMFcast.com. All the things you need are there. There's buttons on the side.
You want me to give people specific instructions?
Nah, that's enough.
Email us, bmf@bmfcast.com. If they want to call us on the Garfield phone, it's 9105-JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263. The email or the website is bmfcast.com. Patreon is patreon.com/bmfcast, where you can get all sorts of bonus super content for the low, low price of $1 to as many dollars as you want per month.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you're listening to this, it's at least Friday, and that means...
Yeah?
It's the 12th. It's at least the 12th. So that means that T-shirts are available for the general public to purchase.
Right.
T-shirts.
Yes.
You guys, limited edition 10th anniversary silver sparkly T-shirts featuring the BMFcast T-shirt design that you know and love that was previously only available for a limited time in gold, now available for a limited time in silver.
Or 10 to celebrate our 10th anniversary.
Aluminum.
Right.
Oh,
aluminum is the 10th anniversary, I think.
Which one's 10? 10 should be 10.
It should be. But it's to celebrate our 10th anniversary.
Correct.
I think it might be 10 or 11.
Yes. There are extremely limited quantities of these shirts, guys. So
they have, well, to put it frankly, we ordered 50. We took 5 for ourselves, one for each of us, and one for from the podcast Tobias, who designed the shirts. And so that's 45.
Yes.
There are 45 shirts. I think
we actually ended up with 46 because we had one.
Oh, we had one
special
extra,
order.
right?
So
there are limited quantities available. They're limited in the extremes of the sizes, like small and the like triple, and I think there's one 4X. I know somebody asked me for a 4X. I can't remember who it was to send you a message directly back.
Bought it.
They bought it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Never mind. So there's no 4Xs left.
No.
But
we may do another run on the shirt. We haven't committed to that yet, but so
we'll see how they do with the general public because so far like the Patreon sales have been swift.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so there's still going to be a good number of shirts left as you're hearing this, but if you want a shirt, you need to get in.
If you want to guarantee it in your size, we
Yeah.
have more larges and XLs.
Yeah.
So if you can fit a larger XL, it's probably in your best interest to buy it. Or if you're going to wait, then that's
and
the size you're going to be
if you
stuck
need
with.
to know where to find it, check Twitter, check Facebook, check. I'll put a link on our website bmfcast.com. That'll take you to the page where they're being sold currently.
Well,
so
it's still on the big cartel store, right?
Yeah,
I know everybody out there heard it. No,
they did.
It's fine.
So anyway, the link will be out there.
I think most
easy
of these
to find.
people have bought shirts.
It's on all our socials.
Yeah.
So get in while you can fit in.
Yeah, the idea was to do the first run definitely limited edition because it was gold and it was special. But if we have enough demand, we may do more of these.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Well, and I think also we thought with the initial run, it was like this is all people are going to care about,
right?
And
we didn't figure that people would buy a second set of shirts.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, and we've had people buy shirts who didn't buy one of the first run.
Sure.
It's been 2 years since we ran the first run, so yeah, so we'll see how long these run. If they go super quick, we'll order more.
Yeah.
Right.
Believe me.
Yeah.
There's no reason to deny you guys shirts.
Yeah, and it's really not. The cost isn't that much different for us to print them in silver, and the silver ones came out really good. To be honest,
I think they look
they
They're almost
look
better.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The logo looks a lot.
It just pops better on the on the shirt. So like we were thinking we would do just white on black T-shirts because it would be a little bit cheaper and be easier for us to keep those in stock. But really, the price of shirts is by themselves, like just the T-shirt before it even gets printed has gone up. But the price of the ink doesn't seem to be different between any of the colors. So
Yeah. And they're quality shirts. I mean, these
Yeah.
are really nice shirts.
Yeah.
I own a lot of T-shirts, and these are nice.
Yeah.
well, there's
I own a lot of T-shirts, and these are ones you can wear.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
as T-shirts go. Well, like I keep doing stuff like walking by a rack of T-shirts. Like there's a shop near where I work.
Do you feel them?
Yeah, I do. But I walked by this rack of shirts, and I was like looking at them. I was like, "Oh, these are nice shirts. They feel really nice." And I looked at the tag, and they're the same shirts that we've been using. Like
I sold one locally to someone outside the podcast, and like literally 2 days later, they were wearing it, and they were like, "This is a really nice shirt." And I was like, "Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I've had one for a couple years now."
Yeah.
I was basically John Cusack and High Fidelity. I was like, "Yeah, I know it's good.
Yeah.
I know it's a good band."
But yeah, they're next level brand T-shirts, and they are, I forget the model because I have no brains.
Model of shirt.
But it's like a cotton
it's a
poly
Model
blend.
T.
Yes.
It's a delicious cotton poly blend, I believe,
It is.
as we described it
Right.
on our page.
But they are so super comfy, and somehow they've made them like nice and stretchy too. So even if you buy them a little bit smaller than you normally wear a shirt,
They can be snug
Feels
and
nice.
form-fitting, but they are not confining. It's not like, this shirt is just small and gross. It's the sizes are appropriate.
yeah, like I could get away. I normally wear shirts in large these days, and I could get away with wearing a medium in one of those, and
Yeah.
it would be like people would be like, "Oh, you
Working out.
bought a muscle shirt. The muscle's coming tomorrow," but it wouldn't be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're nice shirts. We've talked a lot about these shirts.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of wondering when we were going to
Real-
stop talking
real
about the
weird.
supple cotton of the shirts.
It's a delicious cotton poly
Oh,
blend.
sorry. I forgot about the poly.
Yeah, never forget
Along
about
came
poly.
Polly, and I
Right.
forgot about it.
Anyway.
All right.
Good
Well, let's get out
job.
of here, shall we?
Yes, please.
I am Harlow.
I'm BJ,
I'm Chuck.
and for Mackie, this is BMFcast out. See you next time. Bye, shirt. Bye, a shirt.
Motherfuckers. Good job, Kyle.
Kyle, we're proud of you for being here for like nearly the entire podcast.
Yep.
Nearly the entire
You have
live stream.
done a thing that only a couple other people do.
Only many people.
Right. Was there a lady here earlier?
Yes.
Where'd the lady go?
I don't know.
Where'd the lady go?
I don't know. Creepy.
I'm not trying to be. It's just unusual.
Creepy.
Why is that unusual?
Because it's rare.
The ladies can do stuff now.
Friendship is rare.
Oh, we used to have ladies.
People, yeah. I was gonna
We
say.
did, yeah, but they all ghosted.
Yeah, probably because we talk about titties for 10 minutes straight and butt stuff, and we're terrible.
Ladies like titties and butt stuff.
Right?
They're big fans of titties and butt stuff. They're the ones who got them. Am I right, ladies?
Well, Hula shows up
That's
occasionally.
always a
That's true.
that's always a way to get.
Hula's a lady.
It's true.
Danielle shows up occasionally.
Yeah.
Danielle is a lady.
Yeah.
And I forget who that was that showed up earlier. Leola
Yeah.
is a lady.
It's just it stood out to me because I had not.
because it was a lady.
Well, one, yes,
don't get many.
it was a lady, but she made a comment like as a lady, and I'm like, yes, go on, hello, lady, welcome to the chat. This is rare.
I responded. I try to respond to our friends.
Yes, they're futs. Friends of the show.
Bats. Bats.
That's not what I thought you said, and I was like, no wonder they keep leaving.
What do you think I said?
I thought you said thoughts.
Oh.
I was like, God damn, Chuck.
Here's a fun fact. I still don't know what the fuck that means.
Thought?
Yes.
It's that hoe over there.
So it's just
T-H-O-T.
It's just a thing you say in the club?
No,
You don't have to explain it.
No, just look it up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's...
I
That's
could
what
have
it
done this
stands
for the
for,
last
but-
2 years, but I see it all the time, and I just nod, smile, go, yeah, thoughts.
It's generally a derogative term for,
I see it. I didn't want to get all phlegmy.
God damn.
Night, Bill,
All right, good
Kyle,
I'm gonna shut this off.
Evan,
I'm gonna shut this all off.
C. Mikes, BJ.
Good night, humans, is how I will phrase it.
Night, Moon.
Good night, motherfucker.
Jazz hands.